We are live. Hello,
Hello, it's
hello.
a Sunday. It's a Sunday.
It is everybody. Father
Just
Ricky
me,
is
Death,
in
and
the
Glory
house.
hanging out.
Father Ricky is in the house for confession.
Oh,
So,
very good. Bless us, Father, for we have sinned. I
mhm.
know I have. I sinned last night. Oop.
You never, Kate.
Me, I know. God forbid. Hey, everybody. Hey, Texas One. Good to see you, honey. You wish. Leonard, good
Hey,
seeing you, honey.
there's Liz,
Truth.
Wish, and
Yeah,
Truth, and
Trolling Annie. I don't see Trolling Annie,
this
but
one.
hi, honey. I don't.
yeah,
Yeah.
she may
Father
join.
Ricky, bless us, for we have. Oh, there I see her way at the very beginning. Okay, I see you, honey. Sorry, but
She may
I've
join
been.
us later.
I have been gloriously out of the loop a little bit. Just doing other stuff, and I got to say,
Hey, Red.
we've been. I've been promising hubby movie night because he's been going through a lot of stress and stuff lately. But so last night, we picked a movie, and he was kind of okay. But then he liked it as well as I did. And I tell you, I ugly cried. I ugly cried at this movie. It was so good because I love Jim Parsons from The Big Bang Theory anyway. But if you get a chance to rent it or catch it, it's called Spoiler Alert, and it's based on a true story.
I've heard of
But
that. I think it's on
yes,
some
it
somewhere.
was a really good. It was really good. So I really enjoy it. I highly recommend it. But you will ugly cry. Get you some Kleenex. Oh my. But yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Hey, Pass. Hi, honey. Hey, Red. How's it going? My notification didn't work, so I didn't even know you went riding last night. So I missed it.
New pets.
I was just okay. Now I'm back. I had to just pop into Discord for a minute and assure somebody that Father Ricky is legit.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Father Ricky is all right.
A true man of the cloth.
Huh?
Yeah. Somebody's got to follow us around and bless our ass.
He's the exorcist. He's my chat exorcist. Oh,
Oh,
We
and,
need
and,
one of
and
those.
two, just to throw this out here, the part I did catch last night in between intermissions, dummy, you claimed that a dog bit your hand and actually
oh,
broke it.
oh.
You broke your fingers, okay, that connect to the hand part. Yes, painful. But if you were bitten by a dog, ma'am, that you didn't catch, you claimed the dog ran away and your other dog saved you. Guess what? You'd be getting rabies shots, ma'am. So go sit down. Sit your
Okay.
fucking ass down.
You know the real story is that the dog ran away because he didn't like the taste of her.
Exactly. Well,
Ah!
I wouldn't either.
See,
Olaf, good
my
to see you, Olaf.
my
No.
theory is she got bit by her own dog, or she
Mm.
tried to use a leash on the dog, and the dog is not leash trained. And pits, they're very dense, heavy dogs. And
Right.
if you're
Oh,
not
yeah.
prepared for it, and she had her hand wrapped around the lead, and that dog took off after whatever, another dog,
Mm-hmm.
another person, whatever,
Yep.
she would have broken her fingers. Now, when a pit bull bites, a pit bull doesn't let go.
Yeah, it's
Mm-mm.
got a lockjaw. Yeah,
He's
it's
got lockjaw.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
you touting around this stupid, you know. By the way, those medical papers dated 2022
Right. I mean,
didn't mention anything about a dog bite.
well, she flopped around some papers for a while, and I was just laughing. I'm like, dude,
Wow,
whatever,
who does
whatever. I believe nothing you say, anyways. Besides,
that?
finger bones are pretty hefty bones, okay, and it generally you get that type of injury from a closed fist as
Mhm.
well.
She probably
So,
beat
her
Carly.
nutrition has sucked because I'm sorry, she lives on like all those weird cheese crackers that suck. And so, her bones, she probably has osteoporosis already. And
Yep.
her bones are probably getting more brittle and more brittle because she probably doesn't do the right things that she's supposed to do. So, again, miss me with that shit. Besides, who cares? That's not a cast, by the way, either. So, again, stop it. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Take your sorry little ass on and go away.
Nobody asked
Damn.
for proof. So why
No,
do you
I know.
insist on showing proof? You showed us a
Right.
bunch of information papers, not actually medical documents.
Right.
And again, we're not asking. We're just telling you. We know
Well,
the
yeah. Because nobody, I mean, nobody was even, now, I was around for Hatman's because, oh my God, that was so funny. Shout out Hatman and Emma. Because Barb is so desperate. Oh my God, somebody deliver that bitch a water truck. She's so thirsty. Jeez, you got caught lying, Barb. Just own it. Take the L like some of these people should have years ago. And just
Oh
take the
no.
L
Oh no.
and go,
What
yeah.
did you see Olap's community page? Barb
Oh,
Barb is accused of taking that Alana mugshot
yeah.
and is telling everybody that it's actually Olap.
Oh my God. No, 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 no. Please don't insult my Olap. No, no.
I'd be just a little
Do,
frosty with that too.
do not go there, bitch. I come for you over that. No, no, no. No.
Hello
But
to
see, but
all that's coming in.
then bless her heart, something must have hit her in the head because she's like, it happened exactly how she said it did, Kate. Honest, she's a queen. So God love her. She's amnesiac today. Oh my God. But no, it's okay. We love her anyway.
And I know
We do.
Barb doesn't watch me. I think I'm barely on her radar, but Barb,
Yeah, which I am. I know a doubt. But
very
that was so funny that she got caught dead to rights doing the pool game, and the big UK Open sign didn't give it away, Barb. I mean, and again, this is another one who takes the first screenshot shit off of Google that they find and don't do their homework. Oops, daisy. Do your homework, people. If you're going to try to fake shit, at least put some effort into it. But Barb got busted so bad. And then again with the bullshit. What was this? Daniel and somebody, Mark and Daniel. I
yeah.
don't know. It's just like, what? And the story she spun was, oh my God, a good old fashioned yarn is what my grandpa would have said.
And speaking of Mark, dude, I watched your live last night, and you're in your YouTube studios looking at your block list, and you're I think you were genuinely shocked at what you saw, dude. Did you mod Alana? Because
Nope.
if you did,
Oh, there's your. Oh, I'm gonna be good and not say a word.
no, please. You
Come
can't
on.
just mod people because they were nice to you. You know,
Yeah.
when I
Yes.
mod people, I mod them for a
It's
reason.
ill-advised as well to do it just
Yeah.
because you're friends with someone, know that somebody's actually capable of modding first
Yeah,
and
and I'm
foremost, that knows and it's not a bad thing if you've seen them with a wrench elsewhere, because at least then you know that they know the rules and they know what to do. But also it should be, no matter where you carry a wrench, you should always make sure you're doing what the actual creator wants.
Exactly, Def. I mean, and most creators, make it well known. Hey, this is what I want you to do, and that's fine. And I learned, yeah, I've abused my wrench. I admitted it several years ago against another creator, Angie, and I had reasons behind some of that, and they were personal, and I did let but. The creator was kind of behind the scenes giggling about it, going, it's okay. I'm turning the other head. I've dropped my phone a lot. I'll just say that. So, and I did learn from that, though. I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. I should have just let her come in and just ignored it and let somebody else take her out, because if it wasn't me, often it was somebody else. So, but I did. I learned from that, and I don't think, and I've got several wrenches in several places, and I don't really use it. I mean,
no. No,
Not unless it's like, serious, like, doxing,
I mean, if in
blatant
doubt,
doxing,
do
that
a
kind of
take
stuff.
it time out, right?
yeah.
Right.
Or
Absolutely. Yeah.
somebody's trying to start an argument in chat, Candy Morgan, that isn't relevant to anything but just to be a bitch, then out, time out, get out. I don't need that bullshit.
Right.
You've
Exactly.
got issues, take
Exactly.
it to your own channel.
Uh-huh.
Right.
I'm not opposed to a dissenting view or disagreement, but when I say that, I don't mean a trolley disagreement.
Yeah,
Right.
healthy discourse
Like, or
one thing,
bringing
but
up things
personal
3
beliefs is a
years
different
from
thing.
now, or 3 years from the past. Like, that's not relevant. Shut up.
Right. Right. And hey, Luanice, good to see you, honey. Blue Boo, it's always good to see you. Hey, Alex. But it's just very frustrating because and I get that there's a lot of places that have rogue mods. Well, whose fault is that?
Hmm.
I mean, come on. That's when if you mod everybody and it just doesn't work. It happened over at Hoppers. I got to mod everybody because I got a rogue mod. Well, he should have just unmodded everybody. And he said he learned how to unblock people in the studio. So you just go back after the stream's over because that's what they do. You're not, I love this. It's so deflecting. Well, in the live, you can tell who's what other mods can see who's deleting somebody. You're right. In the stream, yes. But when it's over and you go back later and rewatch it when they leave it up
Yeah.
and you take little things out,
That's
that's
why
when it
that
happens.
Mark has to realize that's what Alana's doing. She's
Of
waiting until the
course.
stream is done and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
rendered, and she's going back in and then
Mhm.
doing her dirty work. So yeah,
Right.
nobody knows she did it.
Well,
But
and
if
see,
you're having problems the moment you modded her, well, it's pretty, the writing's on the wall there, dude.
right, because she has to be the main hen in the hen house.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
She does not share well. She doesn't share well.
The dead girl
So,
does the same thing. She
oh,
gets a
yeah.
wrench and then she completely devastates the person's channel and they don't know
Right.
what happened.
Right. Yeah, because I remember when Dead Girl came on somebody else's panel and she was, oh, get rid of that person, they're a troll. She's on the panel,
Yeah, why does
don't.
it bother you so much? Who's in the chat talking shit? If you're on panel, concentrate on your bit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. So that and I mean, I was watching this prompted this live is because I was watching Mr. T's live this morning from last night. And and Hopper, dude, stop. You're doing this apology tour and you're saying all the things that you think everybody wants to hear, and it rings hollow now. It's just not. How can I say it? It doesn't mean anything.
Well, after a while, sorry is a sorry ass word.
Yep. Exactly what
Good
it is.
morning,
Hey,
everyone.
Trollan.
Yeah, Annie.
Hey, Annie, good to see you, sweetie. How are you?
Oh, I am good, thank you. How is
Good.
everyone today?
Good. I did this. I'm assuming that Mark's because Mark goes a lot later. I'm sorry, I roll up with the streets half the time, people. I'm embarrassed to admit it, but this must have been because I remember I was at Hatman's when he was doing Barb because that was fucking hilarious, and then I started watching a movie with hubby and I peeked a couple times in Discord and saw stuff was going on, but this must have been later on at Mark's that this all happened.
This was quite late. This was like 10:30 Pacific when I was like losing my shit.
Yeah.
I was a little tired when I'm like, okay, you're gaslighting me. And like, it's not about the fact that you're calling me dipshititis or whatever the fuck it is, right? But it's more about the fact like, okay, you're still not getting it. You're still not getting it. You want to deflect, and I really think he has some real narcissism issues, is I think the issue. And he can't.
I think you should do it.
You're
well,
Why are you hesitating, Ola? What are you talking about? Considering?
I think, Troll and Annie, tell me if I'm wrong with my, because admittedly, I'm not that familiar with him, but it seems to me he's been catered to a lot, not only from ladies on the internet, but his own wife and possibly his family, because
I'm not entirely sure. I know that, it was somewhere to go, and
Well,
I appreciated the people because I knew a lot of the people through Kim. So Hopper, I could take or leave. And again, I was friendly, but I wouldn't necessarily say that I was friends. I would
right.
extend the same, I don't want to say charity because that's the wrong word, but I would extend the same
Courtesy.
thank you, to just about anybody, because that's how I was raised.
Yes.
It
Hey, we're
is
Canadian girls. We know
well,
polite.
not only that, but I was raised
It doesn't
by
take too much to be
a British
civilized or
immigrant.
amicable with people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like she was a World War II immigrant from London, and
Right.
it was tea time, and it was a lot of, I was
Yeah.
emotionally neglected, but I was very loved at the same time. She showed it through food. So I'm a fatty at heart. I love Girl World because we're all
I-
fatties at heart.
Troll
out
and
there, right?
Annie, I gotta say, it. I kind of semi went through the same thing, but I call it benign neglect. My mom had a lot of kids. She was also, well, no, she was born in Canada, but her parents were British and Welsh. And so she grew up the way, that way, and she parented us the way she learned it. And we were loved, make no mistake, but it was like, there
If
was
I had a broken leg, my mother
love.
got me.
Yeah.
My mother got me a crutch. She didn't make sure that I had pudding in my lap, and she wasn't catering to my every need. If I hurt
yes,
myself, I saw
yeah.
a doctor, but I wasn't like, "Oh, you poor thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you need love." No. It was like, okay, well, if I was to go, "Mom, I need something," she'd go, "Well, I got you a crutch." If she happened to be in the kitchen, it would be, "Okay, can I get you something since I'm here?" Like it was
Okay.
not,
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know.
you know, it was not your I was definitely loved. I was taken care of, but it was very much a middle
afterthought?
class. I had 4 other siblings,
Yeah.
and you're not the only child. There were a lot of other things to do, and I had a lot of responsibility at a young age.
She
So
did.
he wants to be act like a coddled person, and I think he just finally met the wrong person. I will be courteous to him,
Yeah.
and he can sit there and show his true colors all he wants to me, telling me this, that, and the other, but he's showing exactly who it is, and I'm well enough connected that he finally met the wrong person.
Well,
well,
all I know is, Annie, it's some hug boxing shit, because when you was on there last week, when we was in Glory's chat, and loads of shit was going on, and I said to Kate Winslet, she was like, "Oh, something was going over at Hoppers, and you was up on panel." And I said, "Kate, I need the link." So me and Kate Winslet went over there and literally just dropped some eyeball emojis in the chat, and was immediately told, "Kate Winslet and Def, leave."
Oh, your
It is some hug box
reputation
shit over there, because
And I was like, shit, this is some sensitive pussy fucking chat, isn't it? Like, I dropped some eyeball emojis. Def, leave. I'm like, what the fuck?
I went over there the one time, and I'd been with Kim, and I'd already had a few times with Kim where it's like, okay, well, Kim wants to walk over people too if she doesn't get her way, and I wouldn't let her get away with it either with me. I would be courteous with her, but I wouldn't let her get away with it. And so somebody jumped on me because Harry, her boyfriend at the time, was wanting me out of the picture.
Back, sorry.
And
Yep.
was dropping, fake whatevers about me, and usual troll things. You know what so and so said about such and such. And no, I never said anything about your mom, right? Like, that's just not where I go, unless we're talking about Swamp Barb's mom, right? Rotten in hell and being ashamed of Barb. But with them, I was at a point where I forgot where I was even going. I'm just rambling. Fuck me. It's
That's
Sunday
okay,
morning.
we're
My
all
brain
old
is
here.
tired. There's way too much going on these days. But
It just seems what's the word?
yeah, I was over. How I ended up over there was it was just the point of like I'm just done. Like
Yeah.
he came in there. We were talking about how messy it had been the night before. And I was just at a point where I was going, okay, I can't even take a night off. I woke up and my notifications were like, did you see what Hopper did last night? It's like, no. Do I really want to know what Hopper did last night? You know, I'm sitting here. I tried to watch a baseball game. I can't even take a night off to myself without things trying to pull me in 4 different directions. So we're in here and we're discussing it. And I said, you know, it's amazing how soft he is. And he's in there and he's going, Annie, why are you doing this to me? Why are you acting like that? And I'm going, why do you act the way that you act? That was my question to him. And so he jumped in my DMs and I ignored it. And
Well,
as
if you
soon
took the word
as
bitter out, Olop, I wouldn't object.
there you go.
There's
Yeah,
no
I
bitterness.
do.
You can
I
address
talk
it.
to the cunt, but I'm not bitter.
Right.
I'm sorry, Troll and Annie. Please do.
No worries. No, and that actually reminds me what it was with somebody in there. Like somebody else was saying things about me, and I popped in there just to see what was up. I had other friends in there that I'd made through hanging out in Kim's room, right?
Mhm.
And so I pop in there, and somebody jumped on me. Annie, you better blurter blurter, you know, like it's like, holy shit, I don't know what the hell's going on here. And of course, it was all false at that point.
Huh.
But you know, like it just is what it is. So, anyways, last week when the last time we were all here, I was in here and I was sitting there and he's going, Annie, why do you talk like that? I'm going, why do you act the way you do? And so he immediately put it in my DMs, which I ignored and blocked because I just can't be fucked anymore. I'm just so done. Right. Well,
Right.
then he's on his channel and I saw the notification. I kind of ignored it because I was busy watching you. And I'm going, well, okay, fine. I better go over there and see what's going on. And he's over there going, I thought Annie was my friend. She's two-faced. She said this, that, and the other, and I'm going to drop the DMs. And I'm like, whoa, I'm thinking to myself, whoa, 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 you sloppy little bitch. You know, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? 2 little words. Like, I called him an e-bagger and sent him a shit emoji. And he can't even handle that I'm like taking 2 little smacks at him. You know,
At
and
least you got
that's
some
when
jabs in, Annie.
that's
I just got some fucking eyeballs.
anyways, it's just, you know, well, this was also after 6 months. You know, this was 6
Right.
months later of, you know, being friendly towards him, but not necessarily
A friend. Yeah.
a friend, right? So it Eddie, I thought you were my friend. And it's like, well, I act very differently towards my friends than I do towards people who I am friendly to.
Mm.
And if I'm not calling you a bitch and a cunt to your face, you know, then I'm probably not your friend. You know?
Yeah. Mm.
I'm not the most PC person. Like, you know, I'm gay and I used to say all kinds of homophobic shit just to be, you know, to own it. Right? You can't hurt me if I own my own stuff. Right? So I will call myself all kinds of names and I don't care depending on who it is. But it's who you know, like don't gaslight me. That's one of my
Yeah.
biggest things. I am a
Don't
human
piss
lie
on my
detector.
leg and tell me it's raining. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like don't shit in my Wheaties and tell me that's chocolate frosting. Thank you very much. Your shit, my shit does not smell like roses any more than the next person. But at least I do my best to run around and own it when I do shit on somebody's Wheaties you know, like stop it. Just stop it. And it said a lot to me that every time I tried to come back at him with logic, his response was to talk over me or to punch lower. So I got to a point where I just laughed
Mm-hmm.
because there was no point in trying to be logical with him. The internet's going to have their way for what he say. I knew even in that moment, the internet was going to
Not only that, you can't
have its way.
respect it because, like what you're saying, Annie, it's like you like own your shit, right? All of us somewhere along the way, especially those of us even like have been here for fucking years or whatnot. Of course, you know you hit a few stumbling blocks or you get fucked over a few times or you know all of these things, but don't pretend that nothing has ever fucking occurred because I don't trust that shit. Immediately, you got no fucking trust, no value from me if you can't fucking just come out and say what's what.
Right. I'm sorry, I had to boot myself out. There was a internet emergency downstairs and nobody can figure it out. It's like, grab a 5-year-old. But everything was going okay because we kind of, now, again, I've known Candy for a while and I've seen a lot of these people, in Candy's before a while ago. And we kind of started going over to Hopper's because of Kim and stuff. And I thought Hopper was an okay guy. Everything was nice to him. We were nice and, because I think we were all trying to do a common thing. Because, we did that with Alana. We tried to be nice to Alana and show her some kindness and say, because we just thought, she had this energy that was displaced. And if, we gave her a place where she could vent and talk about things, because it's clear she doesn't have real life friends. So, we were just trying to go, hey, give her a place to vent, talk. Maybe we can, keep her from exploding over nothing like
she's
she
been
did.
a part of the bodega for a year, god damn it.
Oh. And that's such a flex.
Oh,
and I just, because it was funny too, because even before that, she was going after the bodega. It was like a cycle. 1 minute it'd be us, next minute it would be, MT, and it'd be Annie, and it was like take turns, Then it was Gigi, and I'm like, because whenever she went after Gigi, I was just like, girl, the man doesn't even.
That was some next level insanity, and this
Yeah,
is why I was thinking
It was,
where this stuff
absolutely.
wasn't even as regular as it is now. So it was even more shocking when it happened then, because all the more insane, right? And
well, yeah, and then the guy hasn't even thought of her for years, and here she rears back up again. Well, it's all because of Gigi, and it's like, girl, stop! No, it's not from him. It's you. I hate to tell you this if nobody else did, but it's you. So, I mean, we thought everything was kind of going along okay. And then all of a sudden, Candy came back and got all mad. I don't even know what we did at Elaine's to get blocked. I mean,
Well,
really, honestly?
when you Elaine has pretty much said that she stands Candy and believes everything, so you can't fight against that. So I stepped away.
Well, yeah, I did too. Yeah,
I'm not gonna fight her on this. She's either gonna find out on her own, and she will, or she accepts it.
I think it's
that's prerogative. It's
right.
okay.
I don't, absolutely. Yeah. I just thought everybody could be adults about it, and just be cordial.
Okay.
I try my best to just maintain your beefs are your beefs, and unless it's spilling over, so it's like, hey, mind keeping your fat on your side of the armrest there,
right. Right. And I just didn't understand why that couldn't happen. There.
Oh my God. I just saw Coffee Girl.
Tina D is a whole other fucking issue.
It is.
Over in the boy. She's not even people in the boy like Tina D. She's like the female Mr. T, right? Just full on.
Sorry, I think she's funny, but I'm not taking her in large doses either. But
me too. I don't know enough to.
Yeah, she does make
on
me laugh, but I think it's more of a shtick than anything else. Hey, Elizabeth.
Hey, Elizabeth. Hi, how are you? And thanks, Phoenix. We're glad to have you over on this corner.
Yeah, in the sense of heightened behaviors or whatnot, but not in the sense of the disgusting shit that comes out of their mouths and they say that they do or whatnot, and the grifting element, because you can't stick that. You know what I mean by that?
Well, yeah, and I admit I know next to nothing about people over in the Boyd, and I don't pretend to know. I just know that she made me laugh on a few occasions. So,
Definitely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
And
she's a declared troll, just like
well,
Tragic is, just
Oh.
like Mr. T is, all of these fucking, because it's their get out for being vile anyway. So,
Mhm. Sure. And I totally get that, So, my engagement with that side of the fence is very minimal.
no,
You
there's
know, but
there's some nice little places over in the boy, like it's not all disgusting, but
Mhm.
it just tells you a lot that when certain people, in a majority, and I'd say a good 80%, if not higher, don't fuck with people like Tina D or
Yeah.
Mr. T or things. So Tragic befriending all
Yeah,
these people is not favourable.
right. And that was because kind of when Alana said she was going back to the boy, we're like, okay, yay, goodbye. Maybe this will be awesome and she'll leave us
I don't
alone.
want
But
her.
no,
This is
you
what I'm
know,
saying.
she,
When these fuckers get so grimy that even the boy doesn't want you, you're
yeah,
scraping the bottom of the barrel as it is, and now like the bottom of the fucking barrel wants to roll over you.
right, right. And, it's just kind of like, whoa, she just, you know, and I know that at one point I remember seeing him come up and in his name, and I thought, well, okay, and I just wandered away because even with her over there, it was like a joke. I mean, it's like what you're gonna send your scarecrow over because nobody's intimidated by her. Stop. She's like a dog barking. Who cares? So I
Mhm.
just wandered away and never paid much attention. And she would still, talk about us and stuff under her breath and in her tarot readings and whatever, and hoped we all died still. And it's like, oh, God, just go away. So, but yeah, it's weird. I just don't understand, that Hopper needs to realize that, he needs to walk away for a while, not just, he privated all his stuff. He wants to think of it as a new start. Actions speak louder than words. And if he just needs to stay in his own lane, do what he wants to do. And if it's going to take a while for people, if they even choose to have more trust and come back to his lives, I don't know. I didn't even. I hear he's gone live a couple times. I did know. I did notice that he did change his name, which that's fine, whatever. But he has to understand that people are tired of hearing sorry. They're, oh well, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, and then just turn right around and do it again 5 minutes later.
Well, and that's what I was telling him last night on that panel with Mr. T. And again, you can think what you want about the boy. It was more about the fact of I don't care where I am, I will stand up
Oh,
to a
absolutely.
bully. Right. So it wasn't about being Mr. T. It was more the fact that Hopper's trying to be a squirmy little bitch yet again. And I just wasn't going to.
Oh, true. Thank you. That's very generous. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Truth.
Thank you. Oh, it's lovely. But yes, it was more about the fact that he was over there and he's just either not getting it or he's still
Yeah.
Wait,
trying to put up
Hopper
a
was on
front
Mr.
and
T's,
lying.
is that right,
Well,
Annie?
so now was he trying to be apologetic still, or was he being defiant, Annie?
No.
He gets defiant about it. He was trying to talk over me. And I mean, I know how you feel about Candy, but she actually hit it on the head. She did a good commentary about 15 minutes of my panel with Hopper. And the basic thing that she pointed out that I took away from it was once he got to a point where he knew that he couldn't speak over me, he was doing a lot of self-soothing, a lot of squirming. His face turned bright pink. Like
No, making faces
I
and stuff. Yeah.
I showed him exactly well, and that's the 5% that you don't want to be on the wrong side of me. I will tell you your cold hard truth that
Yeah.
you try to hide from yourself
Right.
if you piss me off enough.
Yeah.
Thank you,
And
Scat, for the super sticker.
that's exactly where I went. And that's where he got me to. You want to keep squirming and you want to keep squirming. But if you keep squirming and I'm at a point where I'm just done with you, I don't care anymore. And I will watch you squirm and I will enjoy it. And that's who I am. Right? Like, then that's why I do have a reputation. And I guess, fair play.
Well, you've got your boundaries. and you're entitled
and
to your
that's
boundaries.
it.
I think, and for me, forgiveness is a different thing. Just because I forgive you doesn't mean we're besties again.
Right.
Right.
No,
No, it
forgetting
means
that
I
shit.
won't fight you anymore, and you go your way, I'll go, and that's the way it is. But if
Right.
you keep saying I'm sorry and then repeating the thing again and again and again, then your I'm sorry means absolutely nothing.
Right. The word sorry becomes
Yeah.
like a fucking hollow turd falling out of somebody's mouth if it's not backed up by what? Action of
Like,
change. And
Right.
therefore,
see,
if you don't see that and you don't see consistency from a person, go fuck yourself with that sorry. I don't want to hear it 50 fucking thousand times. Go fuck yourself. End of.
and that's just it, is that he will run all over anybody he thinks he can get away with it from. He will also act a different way around the Boyd, like he wants to hang, but it kind of comes across as a try hard.
Yep.
It's
Mhm.
really quite interesting. It's really quite interesting. And he's like one of those kids who wants to fit in with the cool kids, but he's the wannabe on the outside,
Just
and
trying to
they just
form
kind
in
of
at
keep
the
him
cool
around.
table. Yeah.
They keep him around because they kind of feel sorry for him for whatever. And it's just all around bizarre to sit and watch. I don't understand people like that, and I guess that's why I watch them. I could sit and watch everyday people any day, all day, and just go to a mall if I want to watch,
Yeah.
like regular people behavior. If you want to invite me into your home and act a fool for me, I'm going to sit there and watch just, like it's a TLC program. Okay, you want to show me your shit show?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And
Oh
the
my God,
thing is, if
truth. I
you
can't
really,
stand shit like that when people get in their feels about, like, you're offering up some constructive fucking criticism, trying to help them with their stream, and you're telling them their audio sucks or something, and they get mad at you for
Mhm.
like telling them. They should want someone to fucking tell them.
Yeah, you would think. You would think.
It's
I know.
it's kind of weird, yeah. And if you want to show people that you're changing, then change your channel, not just the name. You know, eh, can you make videos? Make videos about something that interests you. Like trucks or trains or your dogs, whatever. You,
Right, right. Because
you may lose some subscribers initially, but then you gain it back. I did the same with my shopping hauls
yep.
from years ago. That was a hard change, and it was my channel stalled for years. And then I started getting into the shit show that is live streaming, and all of a sudden, boom.
Well,
Funny,
and
it was,
Yeah. But
go
the
ahead.
thing is, I have a thick skin. I can take the bullshit.
Right. Me
I
too.
don't actively seek it, but if it comes firing back at me, I can deflect back.
right,
Bring
right.
it
I
on.
mean, yes,
I mean, in all
exactly.
honesty, I don't even contest the majority of the bullshit that's said about me. People get so much twisted, so
Yeah.
much wrong, so many lies are spoken about me. I'm like the fucking devil incarnate. And I just don't contest any of it because I just hold true that my character speaks for me. And that's
Mhm.
all I've got to rely on, right?
Right.
And hold up any fucking receipts where I'm out there doing disgusting things. You can't because I never have. And I don't fight fire with fire. A vile person will never make me vile, so therefore they'll never get that gotcha on me.
Yep.
Well, and,
And
and,
then just
and
let
like
everyone speak their shit about you and tell their lies, I guess. That's what I do.
I love playing lies and hypocrisy. And that's where I guess I will wait and I won't necessarily say anything until I have it all put together. Or I will watch.
Oh yeah, I'm a watcher also.
I will watch and I will lurk as many places as you will see me. Because people try to impress me sometimes. Or sometimes people, they're
That's
you
the
get all kinds of
infamous line,
times.
knows that what Little Brits is saying there. That's the very, very that Neg screamed when I imploded his community.
Oops.
Oops.
Never have I ever heard or seen Negs ever be so angry, ever. He was so enraged, he was foaming at the mouth when he screamed that.
Oh, no, that's no goodness. I would
Best
have liked
film
to see
ever.
that. I would have
They
liked
don't
to
call
see
you
that.
death for nothing there, Death. And hell follows behind you.
Right, little bit's mine too, so much. It's like it's become iconic.
But he deserved it. He absolutely, the arrogance of that man. I started backing away because I was a sub to Negs. I was Negative Nation. Uh, what was it he was doing that kind of made me start going ew, or gave me the big old ick factor? It was just he self-entitled. I heard from the grapevine that he was really badly treating people that were sending him money, and it just was this. Oh no, I gotta leave. You
Yeah,
know.
and then you found out that was the tip of the iceberg. Huh?
Yeah.
Mm.
Then what he did to Silvana,
Well,
was
that's why I imploded the whole community, was because of that situation.
yeah, and he did it himself, and he refuses to accept it.
Because this is when he'd lost his YouTube channel, and I
Mhm.
built him the Twitch channel, and we all agreed. And if I was going to affiliate with him and whatnot, that he was going to turn over a new leaf, no more drama, no more shit. I was to clean up the entire community, get rid of all the fucking scum buckets that he'd acquired over the years in his septic community, And that's why I got so many enemies, because it started off with that list of like who I got rid of his community are the ones that are still now 2 years in got contentions with me. People like AK and whatnot.
Right.
She was one of the first I kicked out of the community because I knew back then she was up to her fucking elbows in all the nasty doxing shit. Because I baited the bitch and she dropped it. And I was like, got you. So she was one of the first to fucking go. So I pegged her back then as a fucking septic crazy bitch. That's why she hates me so much, because I pegged her from day one.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. I mean, and that's what, it happened a couple years ago with some other people too. It's just like, we're old, trust us. Don't, when it didn't right, it didn't right. And turned out we were right, and we still kind of sit back every now and then and go, see? To see? You have
More
to
often than
trust
not,
us
I'm right than
sometimes.
wrong. My instincts are pretty fucking hot on this shit. You know what I mean? I've been on here far too long, doing this shit far too long, working behind the scenes for too long, and seen everything you could probably see.
I mean,
Right.
I'm decently newer, I guess. It wasn't until the vid hit the world and the world shut down that I really started getting into paneling and lives and things of that nature. Like, it changed my whole life because I do live alone, and so I found myself isolated. It was the
Right.
creep show shit show that actually
Right.
brought me into
Mhm.
this world, where it was like that started dying down, and I was like, well, where the hell am I going to go now? I'm addicted, right? So I started just watching lolcows and started watching drama and commentary and floating around different communities. And of course, I've made good friends everywhere I've gone, and I've made my enemies, but you don't hold true to who you are without making enemies along the way. Unfortunately,
Exactly.
there's always going to be somebody out there that doesn't like you for one thing or another. And it could just be that you've got one hair that wings out a certain way, and they just don't like that because it reminded them of their friend in grade 5 that told them they were fat. Right? Like, you never know. Like,
Exactly. You can't
there's been times
control how people act. You can only control how you respond.
I always like to say that people can make me feel something for a moment, a brief period of time. It's how I choose to respond from there that is on me.
Exactly.
So,
And that's why you got to have, like, pretty thick skin on here, because, you're done in a heartbeat if you're a puss. That's it. It's just that simple.
well,
Yeah.
and that's just it. Last night I was on that panel, and he's going, "When are you talking about? When are you talking about?" And I'm going, "Are you honestly that reactive that you cannot remember just when you were doing this? Like, how many fights a week do you get into? Because the moment they were talking about was only 3 or 4 days ago." And he's saying, "Oh, no, it didn't happen. Oh, which time were you talking about?"
Yeah, I know. Because I was
That's
watching that, and
alarming.
I just the tone in your voice was like, if you were sitting in front of him, you probably would have slapped him upside the head.
At one point, I was ready to just like, like,
Yeah,
let's
I
not
Throw
think
your
pull up.
phone and
Let's.
hope it's
rolled in, and
connected.
me and
Well,
Kate
no,
rolled
I've
in,
got a
and
nice.
you had him up against the wall, and it was perfect time.
Uh, there's this one point, and I forget is. I just get to a point like I just go, oh, like I just don't know what to do with him anymore. Like, what do you do? You don't get it. You just don't
Well,
get it.
and a lot of people have along the way have tried to gently, mind you, a lot more gentle than some other people have been, to go, look, what you're doing is cringy. It's not okay. And everybody understands aches and pains. And when I'm not physically able to do this, I'm not physically able to do that. But there is a job out there if you want to work. And, he took that for granted. Now he's monetized. He could take that to his advantage and start to maybe watch some cooking stuff on YouTube, have a nice meal ready for his wife when she comes home, and
There's all
maybe
kinds of things he
start
could do.
doing videos, make some
He
money
could
doing
do
it.
DIY, although he's not. That's way too much for him, I suppose. If but he could fix up things around the house if he wanted to. He could make her a
Well,
nice
yeah,
project.
exactly.
There's all kinds of things he could do to show that he appreciates his wife.
Absolutely. And he could that's a German Shepherd. German Shepherds are working dogs. They need to do things.
Yeah, no,
So,
they're highly intelligent and highly active. They need a lot
extremely.
of stimulation
It's
in order.
not a
Right.
lap dog. Yeah, they're not lap dogs. Don't
No,
if
no.
you're sedentary and just like putzing around the house, don't get a breed of dog that needs exercise.
Right. Right.
Love seat. Is that
I
true?
know, I saw that, but I wanted Rising Phoenix. Are Kettle and Stiff Richard and Tifa still around? Because I remember enjoying them, and then they disappeared. Or Richards is still around, but
And about that too, I mean, I feel bad about what happened with Elaine. Who knows, um, what happened with that. I really don't. Yeah, what Tifa did wasn't okay.
Mhm.
But and honestly, he should have just come back for whatever reason. I'm sure alcohol was involved, and whatever reason that he did that, I get it. But he should have owned it. He should have owned up to doing it and come back and said, you know what, I'm really sorry about that. Whatever, apologize and mean it. Because I liked Tifa. I thought he made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Kettle and those guys were hilarious. Stiff Richard was funny too. And now I'm sorry if Kettle, got on panel later that night and had opinions about Candy. That's his opinion. Everybody's entitled to an opinion. That's why I don't think a lot of people understand that. So he got, guilty by association, basically,
Sadly.
because he was friends with Tifa. And then now Richard the other night, he did, because I don't like this either. Don't come on somebody else's live and start, messing with me in their live. And I don't appreciate that. And he did it with Hopper. I think it was at Hatman's or something not long ago. So it was one of their lives. But Richard came in and was like, Hopper unblocked me. And it's like, I can understand he wanted to voice opinion, fine. But he kept on going about it. He kept going on about it. And finally I said, Stiffy, don't do that here. And then they got into some weird, kerfuffle. And it's just like, you don't need to do that here. So those guys, and again, I felt bad because some of them got wrapped up into some of the stuff that wasn't even their fault, and for having an opinion. So, that stuff's not okay. But again, I don't agree with what Tifa did. He shouldn't have done that. other people got accused of porn bombing. I really don't know how you would identify that exactly, unless, like, I was laughing behind the scenes and told somebody, I said, this is kind of a lot like the tallywhacker scene from Porky's. It's like, you can identify that thing, okay? Come on. So, and it is what it is. That's why anytime you let somebody up on a panel like that, if you're not sure, you always make sure, because there are people out there that just live to do that. They don't even have to know you. They go from stream to stream and try to pull that crap.
They do. They absolutely do. And there's all different ways of doing it now. And people don't just like come up and flash porn or get their own dick out or anything like that. Like, people will stalk your chat, see who's a familiar face in your chats and who comes up on panels. And when a particular individual isn't on a panel, they will like fake their profile picture and their account, come up on your panel, and you'll think it's your friend, and then they'll do it to you. So there's all kinds of methods to this shit now.
Right. And you just have to be aware and be ready for it and go from there. And it's going to happen. I mean, most people, I've been to streams before where it's happening, but oh my goodness, is that what I just saw? And you laugh about it, you move on, you don't address it. So most of the time, the channel owner will just go, I've got to restart, guys. See you later. And that's the end of it. But sometimes everybody gets so bent out of shape about it and talk about it for days and days. It's just like, guys, come on, get over it. And again, Phoenix, I've liked you, and all the people I met over there. You guys were always really nice to us. I have absolutely no problem with any of you guys. You all were awesome. And I don't have a problem with Tifa either. But I just am disappointed that he didn't handle it properly. He should have just come back and apologized and said, man, I am so sorry. I don't know what got into me that night. And apologies, especially sincere ones. Alana's ex Jay, he said some really fucking nasty shit. And some of you are like, oh, well, you just don't want to forgive me. You want to hold a grudge. That's not true. If you are sincere about what happened, and he came back and went, you know what, guys, I am really sorry about this shit. I see what I've done, and I am really disappointed in myself that I did that. And he restarted himself, he reinvented himself, and we've actually found out that he's not a bad guy. And we go and talk crime and Walking Dead and all kinds of shit. So there is forgiveness. I mean, look, we did with Alana too a lot of times. How many times do we make a Discord for her to try to be happy?
Don't let bad experiences, corrupt you, in the sense of like, putting all your walls up and not having the ability to open your heart for forgiveness or to help somebody out or whatever it may be. Because yes, you're going to find a lot of fucking scummy fucks that might stab you in the back and do you wrong and not have an ounce of accountability about them. But then there are going to be, the odd individual that you do give a second chance to, and it does pan out.
Right. Oh, absolutely. And so, it's a lot of people say, well, we're just holding grudges against Alana, that kind of stuff. No, she just constantly wants to keep doing this. And there's really few people I have a problem with. Barb, I will always be on that woman's neck because, good Lord, stop. She's just not a good person. She's a grifter, and I can't help it. And it's on his own channel, which I just love. That Wolf's right there. He does a message to Hopper, but don't get between, the grifter and their mark. Well, hello.
Mm-hmm.
Good advice, huh? You better take your own advice there, Wolf, and go grift somewhere else, because that's exactly what you people are.
As Yabba would say, don't fuck with my food, don't fuck with my family, and in that order, priorities.
And I just want to edge in here and say, Ford, when somebody starts leveling that kind of accusation and phoning CPS, I want to see proof.
Mm-hmm.
No, not just Hopper said.
Right.
Hopper can say a lot of things. I can say a lot of things.
When I've seen dodgy things where people have got those receipts, and you can get forms and do a shoddy job of filling them in yourself as well, like get the blank forms and make it look like typed text is entered into it, right?
Yep, because I want to see it. Don't sit there and say, oh, well, I heard this, somebody said that. And I'm like, oh, no. I think I'm going to have to hear it or see it before I believe it. And, because again, I'm sorry, but she's the perfect example. Oh, I don't Photoshop. I don't do this. I don't do that. Girl, stop.
And depending on the situation, context matters too, because people will clip you out of context all day, every day.
And
Yeah, well, they said such and such. And, you could be talking about how cold your cup of tea is, and they're using it for, well, they said such and such about your mother.
Right.
It's like, wow, okay. Yes, I did say that, but nothing about somebody else's mother or their,
Right. And I've been lucky. She only clipped me once, and it was so apparent. It's like, yeah, no. And it was funny too, because here she tried to call me out as a liar. This is one of the first times I'd ever really, had interactions with her. And, she's calling me a liar. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Just the other day, everything was fine. What the hell happened in between? And then she tried to say one thing. I'm like, no, that's not exactly how I remember it. And of course, there were people that had it recorded, and I'm listening. I'm like, wait a minute. And I found out where it went wrong at. And I tried to explain it to her, and she said she understood, but no, she didn't. But she kept on. Then it was 1 minute it was fine, then it was not fine. But long story short, then she tried to put it up. Well, this is what she said. And I'm like, no, that's not what I said. Well, 2 weeks later, she actually put the live back up for everybody to hear. And I went back and listened again and went, see, that is not what I said. So she busted herself out.
Mm-hmm.
And again, but it was always me. It was, you did that, Kate, you did that. No, I didn't. And that's my beef. Don't put words in my mouth that I didn't do. But she did try to clip it and pound it off. And there's other stuff too. And like, I've always been I'm the same way as Death, and a lot of people I know. Wrong is wrong. Like Troll and Annie, wrong is wrong. Alana still comes and says, well, Candy said she was going to make me have the biggest breakdown. No, she never said that. And, Big Dummy, when she tried to release that story again, she forgot the part that she was faking her death.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah.
Oops, that's the only reason she called. She claims still everybody's calling there. She said all kinds of shit that she was going to get the recordings of Candy calling and all this other stuff. And So again, I would stand up for Candy in that stuff, because I know that's not what was said. So, it's just like everybody just needs to take a step back and be grown up. And Hopper, stop saying you're sorry. Just prove it. Shut the fuck up. Back off. Quit going everywhere and saying this and I'm sorry. And, deal with it.
Because it's not working out. People have had enough, and so you end up on people's panel being beaten up, expecting a different outcome, and it's not going to happen.
Right. And I can't believe too, I'm switching gears back to the bodega. Yeah. Why do they think that? Why is everybody all of a sudden going on this, deep fake shit now all of a sudden? Yeah. Yes, it's like one person used it and it's off and running.
Right. So it's all about deflection.
It is. And very poorly, I might add. Because, I got part of Pistachio's stream one night not long ago, and she had it all. She was playing it. I'm like, dude, that's you. And that is definitely, there's too much, because there's only certain, that deep fake is not perfect.
911 recording. If anybody with any sense, regardless of whether you know Tragic's voice that well or not, if you go listen to it and then listen to his, yes, of course it's a match. But as we know with AI, that you can do that, yes, of course. But with AI, you have to upload the text and then you get it all just so, download the thing, right, and then play it in responsive form. Now, everything, if you listen to that conversation and how the 911 operator was telling them to hold on to the line, and the person, how they was responding to certain things about, like the smoke coming out the back of the building at the shop, there was there in the area, that they was definitely sure about the address when it was inquired, right? So there was too much There's
too
no way
fluid.
that was AI, and anyone,
Exactly.
even a heartbeat of a
Exactly.
fucking moment, that believes that call wasn't legit and that was him and it was some AI bollocks, you're absolutely mental. And you'll need to actually use AI and realize how to do that and how to work it. And yes, you can do like an edited video or an uploaded clip or something of that ilk and make it look like somebody's spoken words. Of course you could, but in terms of that 911 call, no. Like I said, the responses alone would tell you it's a legit call.
Yeah, it was too in depth.
Mm-hmm.
We aren't quite there yet with technology. We're getting really close to being almost sentient, which is kind of scary, considering where we were 40 years ago.
I think it's more problematic. I think it's going to muddy the waters. So you've got this thing already, right? With like being able to create, forgery of like information and evidence and people's spoken words and whatnot. But then you've got a corruption of what true information is, because now if you do a search, so my kiddo the other night was looking up a certain animal on Google, and he was looking at this, like it was in South Asia, this little creature, and I was like, oh yeah, that's cute, like this. And then he went to look at further pictures of it, and all these AI images came up of it. And so then he was like, oh, that's weird, I didn't even like ask for that, and like, why is it not giving me the actual animal and it's giving me all AI now? And I said, well, that's the problem we're going to end up finding, that when you go look for a result or something now, you're going to find an influx of information will be AI stimulated information.
Right. Yeah, because some of the first stuff that they released was an epic fail. I mean, it's like, what? So, yeah, it wasn't good at all. So, yeah, that's going to take a lot of work. And plus, I'm sorry, old school like me, I am, my husband and I had this conversation not long ago. The new 3D, stuff that, you get the headset and the headset and everything and all the stuff to connect to, it's like $3,500. Now, me, I'd be like, nah, I'm good. I'll just catch a movie. I'll go to the theater. But, some of my nieces and nephews and younger relatives are into that. And they're like, yeah, sign me up. I'm saving my money for that. And that's, the progress, I guess it is. And where, coming up, we were excited about certain things. Like, back in my day, you couldn't pick up a TV and walk off with it. Nowadays, you could walk away with a 50-inch TV and not think twice. They're so lightweight and portable and whatever.
And nobody's stopping you because it's not worth it to them. And I'm going, holy shit! Have you seen what's going on in New York? They are shutting down stores and malls and pharmacies because of the rampant theft. So how many people live in New York? 13 million, something like that. It's going to be a desert. It's going to be a desert.
Yep, it's going to be something. Yeah. It is. And that's like what Rising Phoenix said too, is I don't understand the draw either of, this is the internet. Again, I've made friends with a lot of people. There's a lot of people I really like and care about, but it's still the internet. Mm-hmm. Why would I want to go real life on someone and hurt them in their real life because they hurt my feelings on the internet for whatever reason? Because we know that's what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
So, like Phoenix just said, well, somebody probably, contacted Tifa's wife and threatened her and the kids. And he thought that it could have been Hopper that did that. But again, nobody has proof of that. But, suspicions get a rise and whatever. But the long story short is somebody did take the line and cross the line. Why? Because, what he did was wrong and stuff to do that. But it's not something to end the world over and hurt him in his real life.
Yeah. I mean, it used to be you're an asshole and you walk away.
People don't have the ability to conduct themselves on a normal level anymore, like in the terms of being able to walk away from a situation, not to hold a resentment or a petty grudge or whatnot. Like, the people are so fucking self-entitled that they think that they should be able to get their revenge on every situation in life, nothing should ever be done to them, and they will do to others. And that's what fuels all this nasty shit. Is the fact that
You
people
see-
get in the way of themselves with their own petty resentments is the main fuel of it all.
Yeah, and
I've done a lot of studies on this actually, and I heard a study about it about 15, not even, probably a decade ago or so. And they did studies about the decline in the ability to interact among younger people, and how it had just been across one generation being raised on the internet. Like
Yes.
social media and being white knight keyboard warriors is robbing us of our ability to be able to logically think for ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
because we aren't getting the actual feedback. Like in real world, you say something to someone, oh, you're a nasty hoe bag, and you see that you've hurt that person. And then most of us have empathy to some degree, and we go, oh, that hurt that person.
Yeah, that
But
wasn't
without
cool.
we don't have the feedback. And so it's becoming easier and easier, where we're training ourselves to be assholes on the internet, even though that's not necessarily our intent.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nasty what we have become in some ways.
And I think that's probably, yeah, and you're very much right, Annie. And I think that's probably why I was always hesitant to be on this side of the fence, because I've always worked behind the scenes for years. I never wanted to be a creator, never wanted to be on panels or any of that shit. And so therefore, for a long time, I was just an observer, if you know what I mean. And observing will serve you well, because it will not serve you wrong in learning, the patterns of behavior, because you can't go on the normal tells of people on the internet that you can in real life when you're facing somebody. You've got the inflection of their voice, their tone, their body language, all these other things, So it's very easy to get duped and to get, pulled into situations and all kinds of fuckery online and whatnot, and not knowing what you're even involving yourself in, and all this mob mentality and little cults that spring up and corrupt communities and like little dictators that they become of the community. And I was always like, oh my gosh, and now, after being at the helm of everything with like a lot of creators and building their channels and things, and not always it's serving me well, especially those that I actually helped for free, because usually I get paid for this shit. But people like Negs or whatnot, and it slapped me in the face, and I was like, this motherfucker, yeah, he's absolutely corrupt through and through. And it doesn't always serve you well to like, I didn't want to be on this side of the fence, but I had to jump over here because this motherfucker went out here lying, and he knew what he did. And so it was a case of getting there first, right? And I didn't have a presence, I didn't have a platform, and he's very adept at attacking people from the sidelines and taking them down. And for years, he's done that with community people. You'll see the amount of people that slip through Negs' community, probably thousands at this point. And he will always turn on people. He uses them, he abuses them, all of that, and the lies that are told. And it still goes on now. DC and Negs are doing a great sweep up job, right? Trying to sweep it under the rug. It's all the bodega. Now, I'm not saying the bodega aren't fucking dirty as fucking hell and get to all that shit, but don't think for a moment that Negs and DC didn't know about that. DC was in that community. Yeah. She was in there playing them all. AK. Oh, you're like the daughter I haven't had. Bullshit. DC doesn't have any feelings for another fucking living, breathing human being. Trust me. That was all a play. All right? And she went in there knowing what she was, and it was collecting information, stirring the pot, making out that Negs was like all like doing this. She was unsure of herself, to make them all feel like they've got some sort of in on her. Meanwhile, she was running back to Negs, going, I've got them all where I want them. They're all like trusting me, and then I'm getting them to do all the fuckery, and then we're going to use it all against them. And then we're going to like wash our hands and be like, it's them lot over there. No. You fucking fueled all this shit, DC and Negs, as well. Like, The fact that it is all fingers pointing at the bodega, I object to. And everyone's forgetting, like, DC and Nex's part in this. Nex and DC have threatened people openly on streams, threatened their
True.
jobs, threatened to dox them, all kinds, and done so as well.
Yeah.
Contacted jobs.
Absolutely.
It's
Crazy.
not all the bodega, you know what I mean? There's a lot of corruption that goes on. And then you got the Yabba and Sam as well. And then it's like, people were like, oh, the lesser of evils. I'm like, no. How about we stop measuring shit and just say it's all shit?
It is, actually. I like the way you said that.
Like, the enemy of my enemy. No, fuck that shit. How about just turn your back on all of them?
Because I'm looking at that community and I'm just shaking my head because they all did vile things to each other.
Yes.
Now it's all forgotten. All the tweets and the videos and lives are all now mysteriously gone because now they've got a common enemy. Like you said, Death, stop measuring shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Fuck.
And when you have to really, you're hiring lawyers and that's when it's gone. You know, it's gone too far and just to stop. You need to throw your hands up and go shit.
Mm-hmm. Even I'm dealing with a bullshit lawsuit from some crazy woman in Minnesota. You know, like really?
I know. Over
well, not a lawsuit. Let me take that back. It's for a protection order. Like
right.
Wow.
Like really? Well,
really?
yeah, I know. Over a false copyright anyway.
Which I won, and that's what pissed her off.
Right, because it's right there. It's back. And it's just like the other one. It's like, stop it. And and she was very clear too. I'm just doing it to get your information. That's what she does it for all of them.
Yep.
And this one's a real nutto.
Yep. So.
Well, based
that's
on
kind of why I prefer to not
and those receipts, it's going to be dismissed, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm not even. I'm not even required to show up because that civil case has no jurisdiction in Canada. I'm still deciding whether I'll just show up just for the hell of it, for the lulz. But
I know. I hate to say it, Gene. I'm leaning toward that. I'm leaning. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right, Kate, we're on the same page.
Content for years. I'm sorry,
but I keep checking the court docket and nothing shows up. So I'm wondering if she just withdrew it.
I guess you'll see, huh?
Yeah.
Oh God. But yeah, I mean, and again, because that's even it's the big thing that comes to my mind is it's okay for me, but not for thee.
Pretty much.
It is. Every time I turn around, it's like, whatever fingers are just wagging everywhere. And this is like, stop.
This is why I refuse to go back and forth with fools, I won't engage.
and sometimes
you do so either, and I think that makes them even madder because I just won't.
Well, and we thought that would work, because a lot of people came to us and went, just don't respond, and it'll be okay. She'll eventually wander away. We've tried that. And maybe we went too long and we bounced her back because she went from our community. She stabbed us in the back, went to another community, stabbed them in the back. We gave her another chance, like the dumbasses we were. And again, because, I agree with something Up said earlier, you have a special soft spot for that kind of stupid, but then they open their mouth. That's exactly how we felt. And it's just like, maybe if we give her a place to do that, we won't have this. So we all thought that there was a possibility that, this could happen. Those were years ago. And we found out, no, that's not the possibility. And, she gets on here and she's the perpetual victim bullshit. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, they just won't leave me alone. I'm just over here minding my own business and doing this. Bitch, if that was true, you'd never hear a word out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not.
It was her that just recently did a live where she was opening and rehashing and rolling around in stuff that was like 3.5, 4 years ago. And she
Exactly.
had the receipts from Kiwi Farms. There was no receipts from
I
Kiwi
saw
Farms.
that.
There was a
I saw
posting
that.
from an old
From
farmer.
2021,
Yeah.
January, I do believe. And I'm like, honey, I didn't even know you. I mean, I knew of you because, yes, and I'm sorry, and I've said this over and over. I have much respect for Kiwi Farms. I get over there. In my honest opinion, they're brutally honest.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
and sometimes I'm sure there's embellishment, just like anywhere. But I don't have an account there, but I love to read Kiwi Farms. This was years ago. We were reading Kiwi Farms because of Angie.
Right,
You
and you
know, we
remember
were reading
Kiwi Farms
about
like it's
her.
not one solid body, like they all move as one movement. The fact is that they've got many people on there. It's many opinions, and you take from it what you want. And if you can't take the criticism, and one fucking Kiwi farmer or a couple of them fucking criticizes you, oh well. It's the fucking internet. You got more than
Right,
that are criticizing you on YouTube, probably. So what you fucking worried about?
right. And, so we saw her over there as a person of interest. And I
Which
had to
she
come and ask what that was. Like, I'm stupid. I didn't know. And so I'm like, oh, okay. Well, thanks. And I'd see her pop up more and more. Well, then all of a sudden, the spaghetti sauce video hit the platform. And everybody, I mean, I'm sorry, Negs was the funniest reaction to that. I admit I watched it a few times because
Well, you got
his
next to his
reactions were
pizza
hilarious.
pan story as well.
Yeah.
So this is beautiful.
And so it was hilarious. That's how we met her. And she started wandering over. Well, she went after Candy. And you don't go after Candy like that. That ain't going to happen. And so that exploded. Then she went after me. And then she wants to claim that, oh, well, no, she's all innocent. We're only going by what a previous community said because of JJ. And it's like, girl, no. The man never even says your name. Stop it. And, she really lost her marbles when the last creator that she had suckered, she's like the little Garfield in the back with the suction cups on the window sticking. And when Munching finally shook her off and said, I'm just not going to lie about the weight loss sleeve shit. I'm just not going to do it. I am not going to do it. And she wandered away. She just wanted to walk away and just let it go. But nope, that's what I'm saying. This loser with the bad picture, if she had just taken the L and moved on, everybody would point and laugh for a couple days and it'd been over. But she went nuclear with it, and this is where we are now.
Yeah, her narcissism won't allow it.
No.
See, and that's the worst thing you can do is keep drawing more attention to it. Just ignore it. Shut up and go. Make it go. It'll go away eventually if you're lucky.
But it seems like Annie. It seems to me that these people don't know how to not level it up.
It seems to be like it's like narcissism. I think it's
Yeah.
one of those main things in narcissism. Like you just can't take any sort of criticism. It hurts your ego so badly that you just
but because
can't take it on.
With Alana,
They're incapable of looking inward towards themselves. So it's always, you did this. They project all the time instead of looking inward. It's the next. Well, you did this. You did that. Yeah, but so-and-so. And they'll throw just about anybody under the bus to get the spotlight back off of you or back off of them.
Absolutely. And with Alana, years ago, she was telling this story. Well, really, she had lost a child. But she couldn't leave it at that. It had to be her ex had shot her with a double-barrel shotgun in her 9-month-old belly. You see what I mean? She just couldn't say, I lost a child. But it had to be this big production, this over-the-top. You would never have survived a shotgun blast to the belly, especially if you were pregnant.
Right.
It would have ripped your middle section away. But she and then when she caught us all laughing at her about that, then it wasn't a double barrel shotgun. It was a BB gun or
22.
something like that.
It was a
But
22 Mac.
we have her on a panel
Oh yeah.
telling that story.
Yes, we do.
And she'll
Two
deny
different
it.
ones,
Say we
actually.
made it up and we clipped the things together. You can't clip a panel video, you know. You said what
No.
you said.
Oh, exactly.
They
Exactly.
like
She
saying
did.
that.
And like Barb and her billiards, photography. If she just said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to take pictures at the local community center," and just left it at that, but no, she had to go and take pictures of a UK tournament from her
Right.
computer.
Right. And how familiar is that? How familiar is that? The script. I
Yeah,
was reading a script.
a script.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
Yes, because
skit.
she when I started to listen to that, I'm like, no, she's not going to do it. She's not going to do it. And she did. Well, they gave me a script to read. I'm like, oh, stop it. I'm like, I think her and Two Buff Four have been talking behind the scenes here. Big Al, stop
Oh,
it.
God.
Stop
Yeah,
it.
Big Al. I like the new name.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Yeah, it was either that or Babadook. That's my morning coffee routine. Oh.
Denying a shot.
I know we're the evil bitches a lot. We are.
Bitter. Don't forget the bitter part. I like the
Yep.
bitter.
That's true. That's true.
Can I be an evil bitter bitch too?
You can.
Sure.
You're
Oh, thank you.
honorary, and then
Yeah, absolutely.
a month into your honorary bitter bitchness, you become full-fledged member.
Speaking
wow,
of
thank
bitter,
you.
I'm back with my coffee.
Yeah, speaking of bitchy, I'm starting to feel hangry because it's like lunchtime here, and I think I need to dismiss myself from this lovely panel.
All right.
Oh, well, good to see ya.
Thanks
Thank you
for
so
coming
much
out.
for having me, and we will have to
Anytime.
do this again sometime.
Oh,
Definitely.
absolutely.
I'll be
Anytime.
listening. Thanks for
You bet.
now. Bye.
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 Yeah. Oh, yes.
Hey,
The
Red
bitter-
Road. Good seeing you.
Hey, Red. Road. There's another Red in here, so I got to remember who's who.
I know. Oh, goodness. Oh, my.
Hangry. Oh, she's hangry.
Gee. Hey, I don't blame her. I don't blame her.
Now, as long as my coffee needs a met, then everyone's safe for today.
Hey, I'm telling you. So I wonder sometimes is the morning coffee going to be there for good or evil?
Oh.
The jury is
No
out.
morning coffee, Kate. Coffee is life. I can't. I drink coffee night and day. There is no morning coffee. Let me just.
No, no. At my old age, I had to dial it back a lot. So I have.
I
morning
did too. I'm hyper enough. And my husband's the same way. At first he wasn't even a coffee drinker. And me, I had an occasional cup. Now I have 1 or 2 cups in the morning and I'm good. But if I do it any later in the day, I'm just like wired out, just jittery.
Blow your head off with my coffee because I have it 3 times stronger than anybody else. Like
Oof.
I can't deal with pissy coffee, and I don't have any sugar in it either. So it's like super, it's like black tar basically, like devil juice. Yeah, that's basically how I like to have my coffee. And as I said, all through the day. And when you find that you drink that amount of coffee and in that level and density alone, it has a reverse effect. Like you no longer get, you know what I mean? The side effect.
So we got to poop.
If anything, if I was to go without coffee for a night, it would keep me awake. I wouldn't be able to sleep and I'd have a headache. That's how bad it is for me.
Well, I am that way with pop. I mean, people, my husband will look at me and he'll have coffee at 7, 8 o'clock at night. I'm like, how are you going to have coffee? No wonder you don't sleep good. No, I have to have my coffee. Now, me, I could drink Coke or my Diet Coke. I'm just a Diet Coke freak. I could drink Diet Coke all the way up till going to bed and not have a problem. Be sound asleep.
Yeah, the
Not,
body becomes conditioned to whatever it's fueled with, like in a plentiful supply. You know what I mean? It no longer holds the power it once did for hours.
yeah, but boy, if it's coffee though, I'd be like bouncing off the walls.
Stats, I don't know the red story, but you know, if you want to give me a synopsis in the chat, I'm willing to hear it.
Yeah, tea girl, right? Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
take sugar in my
Oh.
coffee either. I drink, but you know what? I like it a medium. I'm not like super strong. I don't think I ever was, but I never took sugar. Now in my tea, I have to have sugar in my tea.
Yeah, I
I'll
can't
drink it however they give it to me.
It's like the most anti-English thing to say, but I hate tea.
Oh my God.
And I only like tea in the wintertime.
I can't. I don't like the tannins. Like it literally tastes like metal to me.
Who drinks on the sweet tea? That's exactly it all up. I don't know. I rather
My
like a good
husband
strong
does.
black tea with a little cream and sugar. I think it's very very lovely.
Plenty of English people drink like black leaf tea with milk and no sugar over here. Plenty. I don't like it either with or without. I don't like any form of tea. Fuck you, tea. No, it's coffee for me.
Isn't that like an arrestable offense?
Back when I lived over
in
it, because I used to be married to an American, those of you that don't know, and I lived over in Florida for a period of time. And so on the way home from work every day, he used to stop by this Cuban coffee shop that I loved, and he would get me, which would known because they drink it in these little thimbles, and you can get a half serving, which is 8 thimbles basically for 8 people, or a big one, which is 16. And he used to buy me one of those on the way home from work. And he would give it to me when he came through the door. He'd go to the shower and he'd be in there 15, 20 minutes, showering from after work. And by the time that he'd come out, the whole thing would be gone. He's just like, how do you do that? That's like the strongest coffee. And I was like, tastes like normal coffee to me.
That's your normal. Like a double espresso.
What's shaking? Our unbound breasts, no doubt.
Hey. It is Sunday.
Okay.
Free the girls Sunday.
Free the girls, yeah. Now
It must be Sunday every day of the week for DC then.
And Barb. Don't forget Barb. Barb swings free too.
And can I just
they're so low, I thought they were bollocks, but okay.
And when I first saw Barb, I was like seeing her and I'm like, and she was talking about cancer and I'm like, oh, well, she must have been a breast cancer survivor, and because she was just doesn't look like there was anything there. And then I finally realized, I'm like, oh, she's just a very large woman and her boobs are sitting in her lap.
One of the first things I said to Olaf about Barb when she introduced Barb on her channel, and Olaf, I probably remember this, I said, she looks like, you remember when Meatloaf played the character Bob in the film Fight Club? That's what she looks like. And if you don't know, you need to look that shit up because I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong.
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
He plays like this guy Bob who's got hormonal issues in the film Fight Club.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my God. I'll never get that out of my head.
All I can see.
Oh God.
Oh, good. So she did say, because she's gone through the gamut of A to Z cancer. It's just like, oh Jesus, stop. I mean, a lot of people would have gone, excuse me, but wow, you're really doing great because most of us would have been long gone by now. As many cancers as you've had, woman.
And she's the fattest cancer patient survivor I've ever seen.
Well, and I thought she
Then
was on
imagine the size of it
Ozempic.
before it began.
And when she says she can't walk either, I've seen on a couple of her lives when she'd be sitting at her thing live streaming, and I think Wolf would be over close to the door, and there'd be a knock on the door. Up, it's more pizza, god damn it! And she'd just jump right up and right over to the door. I'm like, damn, she moves just fine.
Oh yeah, she was making quite the beeline. Oh yes, I forgot about the toenail cancer.
Oh,
No, what? Toenail cancer? Where did I miss that bit?
I understand, Richard. We get it. I mean, and I don't, like I said earlier, I don't know what happened that night, but yeah, there was some wrongdoing and stuff. But again, if apologies are sincere, I'm not sure why people can't just kind of move on. I get it. I know that maybe there were hurt feelings or whatever, but with Kettle, I'm sorry, I kind of agreed with him, so I can't fault that. That's his opinion. He can have his opinion. And, everybody else, hey, I get it. And then, I think everybody should have a voice.
Absolutely.
And apologies are, in Hopper's case, they're dead because they're not sincere. If somebody makes an apology and they're sincere and they've actually changed, I have no problem with giving people another chance and how they want to do things. So I have no animosity towards Richard. I have no animosity toward Kettle, any of Tifa's mods. And, if Tifa were just to come on and apologize and stuff, and he meant it, because I've heard him speak and I thought he was well spoken. He was funny. I agreed with a lot of the stuff he had said. And I am disappointed in him that he did go over and behave that way. Yes, I really am. Because I wouldn't have expected that. At first, I kind of, from what I heard, I thought he was more like kidding at first.
Stop.
Because they think some of the guys, are kind of jokers and whatever, and we're kidding with the ladies, what have you. But then I realized it wasn't. And then he actually came on panel and did that. And I was like, dude. And again, alcohol was probably involved. I get it. But he should have just, come forward and said, hey, I'm really sorry about that. And he definitely owed Elaine an apology. I agree 150%. But, he kind of just left and deleted his channel. So that's up to him. That's up to him. And anybody else, unless somebody proves to me that they did something worse than that, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and he's no longer around. So it is what it is. I don't know what else to say. So, I mean, I have no problem with Kettle. I have no problem with Richard or Phoenix, any of them. Hey.
I'm sorry, I was just looking at Olok's comment. I was like, what? So distracted by the made her toenail grow thick.
Yeah,
first of all, you
got
can't
her
grow
thick
cancer
toenail
in
with
an actual toenail. A toenail with pure keratin alone, right? There is no tissue to be had that could actually form a tumor. Now, underneath the nail in the actual digit, itself, yeah, sure, but the flesh is, but once you can just get a toenail pulled, people that have an ingrown toenail that have that done or whatnot, or anyone that's dropped anything heavy on their foot and it's turned black and fell off, and it grows back, no, yeah, if she's got thick fucking calcified toenails like a fucking elephant, that's nothing to do with cancer.
Yeah, no, it was, but it was a funny video because she plopped her big old hoof up so we could see.
Right? Yeah, it was just like disturbing. Oh, and then sinus cancer. She showed just like this weird, and it didn't look like what somebody would be suffering from sinus cancer. It kind of looked like JP with the charger cord on his hand or something. I was like, oh, that dude, stop. So, and I get it. And I definitely, V, I definitely agree with that too. I mean, that's never okay to say stuff like that. And I'm not saying there was an excuse for it, but, apology would have meant a lot. That's just maybe what I'm getting to, is an apology would have meant a lot, and to a lot of people. So that's something he has to deal with. That's his deal and nobody else's, thing. So it is what it is. And Kettle, I'd raid Kettles anytime, man. He's going to that barbecue stuff. Whoo, damn. Hmm.
Boy, oh boy, barbecue.
Right. And yeah, to accuse people of the porn bombing and stuff, and that's just it. I know you're this troll. Well, okay, then show me, prove it then. I mean,
Right.
that's what these people want
Yeah.
to sit there and accuse you
If
of.
you know somebody is a alt account or something, then you're gonna have to back it up with more than just words and
Right,
speculate.
exactly. And
Yeah,
and
what
because
my problem is, like, yeah, we all talk some shit, right? And we all like to
oh, of
have a little
course.
bit of fun speculating and saying some wild fucking theories. Of course, it's fun. But when it becomes too heavy, especially if you're streaming and talking about a topic or a person, and fundamentally, you're not basing it on evidence or facts and, of that ilk. And yeah, it's just wild speculation for the most part. I can't get behind that shit. And a lot
I
of fucking streamers out here do that. Like they ladle it on and everybody just gets heightened in the chat and starts wildly speculating. And it's like, what's this turned into?
exactly. And that bit Hopper in the ass hard.
Yeah.
Because he didn't know any better, and
It
he's
happens
just putting
both
it out that
ends
there's
as well. I'm
people
not
in his
gonna lie.
ear.
I don't even think it happens like just in like bad places. I think it happens in a lot of places where that's just condoned.
Right, right. And then people, um, are easily impressed, maybe that they, didn't really realize or know any better. Just go, oh yeah, just jump on that, train and go, yeah, yeah, it was them, without seeing the proof or having the proof.
Yeah, jokes. If
So
you base it obviously under the context of it being a joke and whatnot, yeah, you obviously it's under that. You say whatever you like. Most people can tell the difference with jokes, and that's what emojis are for, to define that you're joking, right? So you put that with your
Mhm.
comment, and usually it's taken as so. But if you're stating it like it's a fucking fact and it's mere speculation and it just goes undetected and then everybody else starts adding and piling in on it, it's like we're getting further and further away from the truth. And even people that think that they're doing good or calling out some shit, well, now you're not, because now you're doing wild speculation. So therefore, you're just giving the other side the opportunity to point out your fucking lies and wild speculations, meaning that anybody that's not aware of the fuckery that's gone on beforehand will come in the door and think, oh, because they're able to point out these and discredit these points, now everything that they're saying is lies. So that's
right.
why I agree with a lot of thick speculation. Like, keep it on topic, keep it with the facts. If somebody's fucking disgusting, just use the evidence you've got on them. You don't need all this wild speculation piled on, as fun as it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Yep.
And Barbara has so many cancers I can't keep track. Neither can we, and she's running out of places to have cancer. No, seriously. Well, she hasn't had leukemia yet, right?
When a woman of that size starts to run out of places to get...
True. It's kind of a thought, isn't it? It's like, damn. Oh, goodness. Leaves me just to go,
And she's never at the hospital long enough. The only time she's in the hospital is when they cart her ass into the rubber room.
Exactly, Olaf.
Oh, what, Olaf? Don't crash our dreams like that. You mean that's not your actual fucking name?
I'm crushed. Oh, yeah. From someone else on papers, I am stated as Kate Wax Lover. Get it right.
On my filing for court. Yeah.
Yeah. I got an honorable mention. And that's funny because that paperwork, all they did was take out certain names and add certain names. It's like, okay.
I'm
Like,
waiting for the day that I'm named in some lawsuits. I can't wait for them to start learning my name.
well, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. I mean,
death, my witness.
that's the fun stuff about some of this body cam footage from Barb. Is she's actually pointing out to the police well, Oxyman said this and Hatman.
Said
And it's like,
that.
can you imagine telling law enforcement this? I, I mean, I was stunned. I'm like, God, stop. Are you this? You can't be this stupid. You just can't be. You just can't be. Do not make me lose faith in all humanity at this point. Oh, but she is, and they are.
It is. Please. I want to be a fly on the wall of that courtroom when they call death.
Oh, yeah, me too. Me too. Me too.
You need a voice changer with a deep, deep and an echo. You know, like you were called from the depths of the void.
Exactly.
Oh, well, my voice is deep enough, is it not? Like a lot of people got a complaint with that. Like I smoke 20 cigarettes a day, which I don't smoke cigarettes. I smoke like the occasional
Joint.
as you know. Like
Mhm.
I'm very open about my intake of coffee and weed, and that's all. Yeah,
Amen.
but no, I was born with this husky voice. I think it's low enough already. I think, yeah, I don't think a voice changer could handle.
Oh.
Oh my God.
He likes to claim I've got a cock. He was like, she's got a cock. I was
What?
like, I fucking have, and I swing it over my shoulder.
Oh. Hey, I know a girl that does that with her boobs. Oh no.
Yeah, hippie breakfast sounds good.
Amen.
Death has a whiskey voice. It's what we call the whiskey voice.
Yeah, I was talking on my friend's stream the other day, and we was talking about voices, and it came up. And funny enough, I said that I've got an older brother, and my mum told me, like, I was literally born with this voice. When I say I was born with this voice, I had it when I was a little girl and whatnot, but I also had it as a baby. And my brother, who was, a couple of years older than me, when he was a newborn, his little cry, like most newborns, he's like, wah, wah, wah,
Yeah.
the typical tone. My mum says I come along, and being the girl, a couple of years later, and my cry was, oh, wow, oh, wow, oh, wow. He was like that on 31. I was like, oh my God.
Oh.
Oh my God, that's funny.
That's why I laugh about it. Even when Nix goes like, in your iron lung. Oh yeah, I'm laying in my iron lung right now. Hotboxing myself, Nix. I said to him.
Jesus. That is so funny.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
No, you have a nice. I like your laugh, Annie. It tells on itself, but it's like a naughty schoolgirl almost cackle like to it. There's a real little yeah. I like it. I enjoy it.
I love Emma's laugh.
Oh God.
Very
Yes,
infectious. Yeah.
it is. It's because it's real. It's she's not faking. She's actually laughing, and it's so contagious you can't help but laugh.
I don't know. I can't really speak much on Emma or Hatman because I think there's some cross wires going on here, and yeah, there's some shit going on. They had a lot to say about me on Twitter. Someone showed me something. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh,
I was
I'm
like,
not
but
connected.
none of that
on
happened.
here.
And then something about a pe. I was like, what? What is with these people? And then he was like something about. I called him a pedo apologist or something. I was like, I've never fucking done that, right? There was a time a long time ago where I was shown something when I left Negs's community, and my Patreon info was on Hatman's Twitter, right? And I spoke about it, and I said that it got released, and that's how it got released. And he didn't like it and left an unfavorable comment on my channel. And I didn't go back and forth with him because I was like, I'm not going to argue it with you. It is what it is. I'm over it. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's had a contention, and there was a thing because Dark Ninja, that this Swede, and who's the one that's been trolling and streaming with Negs and DC and
Is that the real Dark Ninja?
right? Yeah. Well, no, they use Dark Ninja. They put a fake account up and put sound clips. It's never him.
Okay.
Right, that's never him. And they did some disgusting shit the other day where they put this voice thing saying about 14-year-olds, and none of this is Dark Ninja, right? None of it. They're trying to do all this nasty stuff to him, isolate him, call him all these names and things. Well, anyway, so Dark Ninja showed some receipts on Swede, and it happened to contain that, because Swede was up on Negs's panel going, oh yeah, feeling all this empathy for Negs, so people going real life on him, and yeah, why have people got to do this crazy shit? We've never doxed anyone. And Dark Ninja showed this thing where he doxed Hatman. Right, so it wasn't like something, and I was like, yeah, no, that's obviously not fucking on or whatnot. Like, whether Hatman had done something to me or not, I still don't agree with someone else doxing him. You know what I mean? I'm going to call out that shit, so because it's always about right and wrong to me. And yeah, so he had a fair bit to say, and so did Emma. And I've never had really much contact with her, so for her to have a lot of opinions on me as well. And I was like, and then adding stuff that's never even happened to it, and I was like, well, here we go. So yeah, a little bit disappointing, because I didn't have anything bad to say about him. I was just pointing out that wrong was done to him. That was all.
Right. That sounds like a misunderstanding. So I'm sorry that happened.
Past contention has obviously got him in his knickers in a twist, and then she's jumping on it because to his defense or something. And then there's surplus stuff that never happened to it. That's questionable.
Mm-hmm. And
so yeah, I don't. And that's why a couple of times when you have mentioned it, I've been a bit silent on it, because I'm like, I don't really have a stance on it, and I don't really want to get into a back and forth or beef with them or anything. I don't have any hard feelings. If it happened, it happened. If it didn't, it didn't. Like, let's all move on. But let's not add fuel to the situation and start saying things that didn't occur, because no P-word apologist or nothing of that ilk. I never did any of that. So that's bullshit.
Exactly. Hey, B, good to see you. I haven't seen you in ages, hon.
And Stiff Richard, I represent that remark. I love onions, by the way, and I can dance.
See, you started something, Richard. Now you can.
Not in a negative way, Emma. I'm not talking about you negatively, because Glory and Kate have brought you up and talked about you positively, and I've been silent. And then I said, look, this is the reason why I'm silent on it. I don't have any beef with either you or Hatman, right? And I don't want to go back and forth over something, and then like surplus stuff being added to it. Dark Ninja showing a receipt where he was doxxed, and all I was calling out that some wrong had been done to him. I wasn't trying to involve myself in a whole beef war with either of you or anything like that. I'm grown up enough to be bygones. We obviously share friends or whatnot, you know, and that's the end of it for me, really. I can conduct myself in a grown-up way, you know what I mean? I don't like to go back and forth and start unnecessary arguments with people, and that's not what I'm looking for.
Yes, definitely, because I have nothing but the utmost respect for Emma. And
so this was new to me, because I don't know anything about it. But
no,
I was shown screenshots of it, and I was just like, whatever, I let it wash over me. But like, yeah, I just would rather nip it in the bud. So I'm kind of glad that Emma came in. I didn't call him that. I've never once called him that, Emma. I honestly, God honest, I've never called anyone a P-word, anyone a map. You know, Quaz, Queen of Space, she once called me and Little Boots maps. And we was like, what the fuck? Like, just out of nowhere, because she came into our chat and she got, you know, swept from the chat, and then she started acting us on her. I would never do that, and I've never done that. Show me the evidence where I've ever said that. Never done that at all. Now, the thing about the doxing, there was some Patreon information that was once on his Twitter page. You know, it wasn't a big deal to me. I mentioned it, and that was it. But then the whole back and forth going on, and I didn't want that to happen about it. And when Dark Ninja showed that evidence of Swede doxing Hatman, that wasn't meant to be anything bad. There was no like personal information on that, but it showed like where he was trying to. It had the link to it and a photo of, and we was just calling out the fuckery that Swede was doing. Basically, it was a byproduct of that.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
I've never seen any
know
proof
about
of
it.
anything, Emma. I've never seen any proof of anything, honestly. And it's all a bit of hearsay. And this is why when I started off about it, I said to Glory and Kate, I said, I don't have anything much to say. I said, but I think a lot of cross wires has gone on. Honestly.
Yep, sure, Emma. You can come
Because
on.
me saying that, and it was, when I say Patreon details, it was an email address, and I don't know if it was shared by him or reposted or something of that ilk. And yeah, maybe I spoke about it too blatantly or said something of the ilk, like he doxed me or whatnot. Maybe I should have said with more clarity that he shared an email address that it was from Negs's Patreon. But like, I don't hold any grudges about it. I was just stating what had occurred.
Can you guys hear me up here?
Yes.
Yeah, Emma. Hey, hon.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, Emma.
Good, honey. How are
Hi.
you?
Good, I'm okay. I'm okay. How are you?
Good.
Okay, so I'm not going to be up here long because I just want to clarify what actually happened.
Sure.
This isn't from the recent panel she did with Dark Ninja. This is months and months and months ago. Probably, I would say.
Yeah, the original thing
8
that
months
I'm thinking
ago.
of. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And you got Adonis Paul so pissed off that he came up on panel and lost his fucking shit for 10 minutes because you, out of nowhere, were on panel with Dark Ninja, and Hatman has the stream death. So if you want proof, we are on this side. We are all about showing proof. We don't make accusations about people unless we have proof of stuff. You were up there with Dark Ninja so fucking angry and saying, Hatman doxed me. He's a fucking clout chaser. He fucking clout chases off Adonis Paul, and Adonis Paul clout chases.
I probably
also
was
whoever
very
the
angry at the time. I probably was in my feelings about it.
Okay, well, let me just finish. Hold on. Let me just finish it. Then you said Adonis Paul was clout chasing off someone else. I don't remember the name. Hatman has the video, and then you said he fucking doxed me. Fucking Hatman doxed me and fucking this server. And then you were like, he's also a fucking map. I don't fucking talk to maps. Dark Ninja then said to you, do you have the receipts to show that he did this? And you said, no, I don't have the fucking receipts and I'm not going to fucking show them. And he said, well, don't you think you need to show if you're going to make accusations like that? Don't you think that? Don't you think that?
No, I'm
Can I
not going to
finish? Can I finish?
them.
And then you can say whatever you want. You said you refused to show the receipts. So then Hatman was sent what you said.
I believe like the only receipt. The map thing didn't occur. The map thing didn't occur, so
Yes,
I don't know where you got that from.
It did.
And secondly, when I said I didn't have the receipt of where he'd shared this Patreon thing, right? And I was dubious about it, and I said, no, I don't have that to share it.
No, you absolutely called him a map. And then he came to your channel and he asked you in your comment section on 3 different occasions to please show him where he doxed you, because he had the exact same, he had all of the screenshots from the server season. Hatman is super OCD. He keeps receipts on everything. He was explaining to you that there was someone else in that server also that I guess wore a hat or something, and you had him mixed up with this person. And it wasn't him. And he said to you,
if that's true, Emma, no, honestly, can I just quickly intervene and say, if that's true, because, I only saw one comment on my channel, the original one. I haven't seen any since, so I don't know if they're
No,
in the filter
it
section,
was
I'll
three.
have to
It
go
was
look.
three
No, I
in
will
that.
go look in my channel and see if they're in the filter section, because I haven't seen the other two that you speak of. One I have.
Well, there was comments in there, and then
no, but if
hold on,
Catman did clarify and say that it wasn't here, I haven't seen that. And
hold on
if
a
that's
minute.
the case,
And
no,
then you
because
did
I know this happens.
hold on a second. And then you did another panel with Dark Ninja, and Dark Ninja said to you, the Hat Man said he left you comments saying that, you know, to show the proof because he had the proof. You refused. You were pissed off. You were like, no, I'm not going to show them. If I ever feel like showing them, I will. I'm not doing it now. And Dark Ninja was like, oh, okay. Then I came to you in a thread on Twitter because you were dropping the links to your stream. And I said, isn't this clout chasing? Because you were dropping them in Yaba's stream. You tagged Damn It Amber. Damn It Amber came in. I told her what happened. And she said, ooh, I'm not going to touch this. You two deal with it.
Oh, is
And
that
then
the
you
one?
blocked
Because
me.
it was Nex's
And you
house
blocked
and
me.
it was a similar thumbnail to the house. I remember, yeah.
And I get it. You know what? People make mistakes, Death. I have no,
and honestly, Emma, honestly, if I
mistakes.
made a genuine mistake, I will apologize and own it. Honestly, I'm big enough of a woman to do that. And if I and thank you, Hatman, I didn't know that. And honestly, I didn't know if there was another account that was you and it wasn't you that did that. I deeply apologize for ever besmirching your name and saying that
it wasn't my name. It was
on
my
numerous
streams
saying that you doxed me or anything. I don't recall the map bit. I honestly don't. And if I was shown something that was fake towards that as well, then I deeply fucking heavily apologize. I
promise you, you were saying it and you were really mad about it, and I got super pissed because calling somebody
no, of course I can understand why you would on his behalf, especially if I'm running my mouth. But if there is a confusion and I've seen something and I didn't know it was a fake account and I thought those were legit receipts, and when I say I saw your first comment, Hatman, that you left on my channel, I did see that. And I was like, oh, I don't want to get into a back and forth with it. So I just let that slide by. And I didn't see any other comments since then.
And out of my absolute adoring respect for Olaf, when I see you in her premieres, I don't say anything.
Same for you as well, because I know that it's awkward, right? I feel the tension, you must too, right? And
no, I don't feel any tension at all,
right? And of
but
course,
it's upsetting when somebody it's upsetting when somebody calls your fiance a doxing map. It really fucking is, and a clout chaser. And he even says here, yes, it did, Death. You pulled up my responding to Frank. You twisted that into me being a map. I came to you 3 times. Then I ripped your claims apart using your own evidence. I allow that you confused me with someone else with a similar avatar doxing you. I don't know jack about you beyond being in with Negs.
No, and I clearly don't know much about you either. I clearly don't. And the bits that I thought I knew are probably incorrect then.
Okay.
And if you're saying that there was another account, Hatman, then obviously everything that I thought I knew about you is incorrect. And sincerely, I apologize, and Emma also to you, for hurting your feelings and involving you in this
that's all I wanted. I mean, I've talked to Olaf briefly about it and said, like, the main reason I love Kate and I love Glory, and the reason I don't ever come into these streams when they're live is because you're always on them or you're in the chat, and I don't want to be in a place where I'm awkward. I like to be in places that I'm having fun, and I like everybody that's in there. And it's really hard for me to be in a space with you when I know you've said those things, because calling
I can understand that, because the same, right? Because there is that overlap, and I've heard people talk about your streams and it's a fun old time, and in all honesty I have been a bit curious, and I haven't even checked it.
You know what,
I know it's awkward, and I know that there's this thing, right, that's in the way of it, and that we do have this. And when you came into the chat, I think you could generally see that I was pleased that you had come into the chat, because I would rather nip it in the bud and address things.
And I'm glad, honestly, I'm glad. I've said to Olaf, I've said, you know what? The only thing I can be completely fine with Death. We might even be friends down the fucking line if she would own the fact that she fucked up.
We probably do have a fair bit, like we could, get along with. In all honesty,
I'm not going to give somebody
a pass. And Hatman, thank you for being gracious enough to take my apologies. And yes, you're right with that whole tragic scenario. And I probably should have more of a conversation with you about that, because you probably don't realize that it wasn't a support thing. It was the fact that I was trying to get Negs and Hussey on track, and he was Negs's goon. He came as part of the package, right? And the fact that he was simping for Hussey, and I kind of had to keep him busy, if that makes sense. Keep him out of trouble. So I played him an awful lot, and there's a lot that went on there that, you know, I haven't even brought to the date. I haven't brought to light, you know, and I've got all the receipts on that stuff. So we probably, what we've learned about each other is misinformed of each other, and
definitely.
a
And
lot
like,
of
all
it
I want to
is
say is
probably
this
because of
really
that
quick.
situation.
Let me just say this really quick. All I want to say is, like, if making like, if you're going to say somebody is if anyone, this goes for anyone, we're not even just talking directly to you, but calling somebody a map, a minor attracted adult, is something it's heinous.
No, I agree, because that's happened to me since then, and I do
it's
agree with you,
horrible.
Emma, and
So
I don't know,
that
I
was the thing that
apologise
pissed
more,
me off.
especially if the what I was basing it on was fraudulent. What I was basing it on, whether it was I don't know how I could have legitimized the account, but what I thought I was seeing, probably I was basing it on what I thought was true, you see?
Yeah.
And
But I
that's
mean,
not
next
me
time, just
trying to
make sure
wiggle
you
out
have...
of it. It honestly isn't, because I do put my hands up and say, well, maybe I should have double checked. But,
Well, I
and
think you were
maybe I
planning
should
on
have had this conversation with Hatman more in depth. Maybe I should have, like, rather than just thinking, oh, you know what, I don't want beef, like, let me just shirk it off. And then it all go to the wayside. I should have just addressed it there and then. That's probably what I did.
He had no idea what the fuck was, like, he's like, I barely know this person, and she's like fucking raging about me being a map and doxing her.
And I had a lot of, I know this is the other thing, I probably was back then a lot more like, to everyone.
Oh, you were like, no, you were like, no,
because I
fuck
was
you,
just like
showing
at
this
my
the
limit
Dark
of fucking
Ninja.
everything.
You were like, no.
And I think, yeah, that was part to do with it. And again, it's not an excuse, but that's the rhyme and the reason behind it as well. So when I say I have no bad feelings about what went on, you know, and I hope yous both don't too, because I would rather nip it in the bud and just
No, I
move
think it's
forward.
fine now. Now that we've acknowledged the fact he's not a map, he didn't dox you. He showed it on his own stream. He was like, this is what she's talking about. It's not me. And I think the takeaway from this is to make sure, if you're going to make allegations to anybody, to always have rock solid proof, not just assumptions or like, I think this happened.
No, it wasn't an assumption, and it wasn't just hearsay. I had actually legitimately seen stuff, but like Hatman even said, there was another account floating around, and I wasn't aware of that.
There was, so he showed it all on his stream,
because
he's
where
like,
it went all awry, you see.
Yeah, and then AP was in the chat with Honest Paul, and then he grabbed the link. He's like, what the fuck? How am I clout chasing off this person? And he was like, he was pissed. And it's like, you just have to make sure, everybody has to make sure if you're going to say someone's doxing you or they're a map, anything, you have to have rock solid proof. You know what I mean? Like, you can't
which
just go
I
on like,
did
I
at the
think
time. I had Emma, you know, and misplaced, you know, what, and like I say, I don't know how I could have verified that account, but I truly thought that what I was like, wow, really, you know, because I remember even my response at the time, like I was like, so I didn't think he was a great character based on that, and then everything from that moment, I guess, was painted. You know what I mean? And it was wrong.
No, he's a great person and doesn't do that shit. He doesn't dox people. He's definitely not a fucking map. He thinks those kinds of people are absolutely deplorable and should never get a pass. So that was upsetting for me. That was the most upsetting part for me. It was that part. And that you wouldn't show proof, because Dark Ninja kept asking and you kept saying no.
No, that wasn't Dark Ninja that showed me that, by the way. So
no. I mean, Dark Ninja was asking
never done
you for
anything
proof.
like that. He's never shown me anything bad about Hatman. It's not Dark Ninja.
No, Dark Ninja was asking you for proof, and you said you didn't have it.
I didn't
you would
have
look
it
for it. You would look for it when you
I
had.
didn't at the time think to screenshot. You know what I mean? I was just like, it was a knee-jerk reaction, and I was like, oh wow! Like,
but the point being is always have receipts before you say something. Like, make sure you have 100%.
Of course, of
right?
course.
You know what I mean? I think that's the takeaway. I don't have anything against you now. You've apologized. I don't care about me. I mean, you apologize to him.
Emma,
that's what matters.
At the time, I wasn't a creator. I didn't have a platform and all of these things. And I didn't have rhymes and reasons to screenshot stuff. You know, like that as well.
Hold on. Ask Dark Ninja. Everyone thinks he's an idiot, but I keep the line open to DMs and try and keep it from going completely bananas. Yeah, I mean, you know what? It was a mistake on, like, with your part and stuff. And I think, yeah, I don't care about the apology to me. I care about the fact that you apologized to
No,
him.
of course.
And I'm
But
glad that you
like,
did.
it is extended to the both of you.
And you know
Just so
what?
you know.
Hands clean, fresh slate. We go fresh from here. Because there's panels that I want to come into, and I don't come into them because you're there. Because I'm like, she pisses me off. She called them a map with no proof, and it pisses me off. So because of my respect for people, I don't. Now that you've apologized, acknowledged it, that's it. It's over.
No, I appreciate that.
Hands
I
clean, and
appreciate
I
us
think
all being
moving
grown ups
forward,
about this and sorting something out.
that's great. And
And
moving forward, we can chill in the same chats, and we don't have to worry about weirdness. You know?
That's
yeah,
awesome.
hopefully. Thank you. I appreciate
So that's why I
it.
came
I
up here.
appreciate
Is
your
I
time.
wanted to say what I had to say, hear what you had to say, and we're good now. And I think Hats is good too. He's a very forgiving person, and it's all good. So I apologize for coming up here and just jumping in right when you guys were talking, but I wanted to just nip it in, like just get in here right when she was on the panel. So
No,
No,
and that is
yeah,
absolutely fine. You know, this is
absolutely.
good. This is good. And I'm sorry you felt unwelcomed, even if it, you know,
no,
my
no,
mom
I didn't
was
feel
good.
unwelcome. I know myself, and I know that I'm a heated person. I get heated, and
Okay.
I didn't want to come in here and be, when you're sitting there and you're looking at, you haven't resolved something with somebody, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like, that's a big
I
allegation.
understand.
That's a big allegation. Okay, I'm calling somebody a
It
map,
sure is.
and
It sure.
also saying that they doxed you and not showing evidence of it. And he showed evidence to say, you're talking about the wrong person. It's this person.
Mm-hmm.
So I every time I see her in a chat, I'm like, nope, I gotta go, because
No,
the
I've done
longer
it a
I would
few
be,
times as well. Like I said, Emma, because I felt it. You could cut the atmosphere between
Mhm.
us. You know.
Yeah,
And
and
I
like
was
the longer
totally
you're in a chat
oblivious.
with somebody,
Sorry.
the longer you're in a chat with somebody, the more you want to be like, do you remember fucking doing this? And I don't want to derail anyone's chat that I have
Yeah,
respect for.
And I
You know what I mean?
appreciate that.
So
I
it's like,
do.
I'd rather come up here, just deal with it in 5 minutes and be over
Mm-hmm.
and done with it. Because I told Olaf that. I said, if she just owned the fact that it was a fuck up, I'd be okay with it and move on.
absolutely. No,
You
and
know?
I am, like I said, big enough, and long enough in the tooth to
And I
fucking
appreciate it.
do that shit.
And I'm sure he does too. And like, let's just move forward, and that's it. It's good. We're good to go.
No
Now I can
problem.
actually come in here and enjoy myself when you guys
I'm
are talking.
glad.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
this is only the second time I've been up on panel, but I never wanted to make you feel like that, clearly.
And
And
I'm
Yeah.
glad that
I
this was,
apologize for that, if nothing
yeah.
else alone. So, take my apology on that, please.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. I'm sure Hatman appreciates it too. Like, it's just misunderstanding. And yeah, he's in the chat saying pros. Cheers. Like, we're good.
Yeah,
So
Nice.
I'll let
definitely.
you guys
Yes.
go
Cheers,
to
Hat
finish
Man. Thank you for
finish
being
what you're.
gracious also.
Yeah,
Oh
and
no, Emma, it's always good. Hey, that was a lot of fun. Owning Barb, I just loved it.
oh god, and now I'm gonna be smacking Hopper around on Tuesday.
Well,
Oh boy.
God love him.
Yeah,
Hey,
he's a messy one, that one there.
it's sad too.
That's for
It
It's
is
sure.
sad, but I mean, that's his own fault, acting like a mess.
It is his own fault. It
I
is
mean,
his own fault.
if you're gonna keep telling someone you're being an idiot and they keep being an idiot, I mean, you get treated like an idiot. You know
Well,
what I
you
mean?
can only
Well,
sorry only
that's
takes
very
you so
much true.
far.
Yeah, there's no
You know,
acknowledgement.
right?
That'd be like me getting off this panel, and then tomorrow Death is like, Hatman's a piece of shit,
Uh-huh.
son of
Yeah,
a bitch,
right.
asshole,
Oh,
McNuffie.
no.
Like,
Right.
what the hell's your problem? And it's like,
right.
there's only so many times you can tell somebody, like Hopper, like, this has been months of me telling him, just me personally, and this is not
Well,
even
yes,
including
you have.
everyone else. And then when he
Yeah.
did that shit with you, Kate, I never went back in his panels after that.
Well, I didn't either, because, I kind of felt bad about that, because all of that for, Candy was gone for a period of time. Not trying to drag her into anything, but Candy was gone for 2 months. Everything was fine. And, we had kind of gone over to Hoppers and said hi and stuff, because everybody truly was trying to help Kim.
Yeah.
And now we all realize, hindsight, that that's never going to happen. And we all kind of wandered off and just let that go.
Mhm.
But there's people there that I met that I liked.
Yes, I know. That's what I
and
mean too. I'm like, how many times I've wanted to come chill in this chat, and I'm like, I can't.
Yes.
You know?
And then I felt bad, because I understand that Candy and I have issues. I get it.
And
But,
I'm not trying to
that's
get
why I just,
between. I'm not getting in between that, because I don't know
no, and I absolutely wouldn't want you to.
And you
But
two,
I just
you're
wanted
adults,
people, yeah, and I just wanted people to be grown up. And
Yeah.
now
No,
I can't even.
he had no business doing that to you. And like I said, I would have been pissed off if he did that to any
Oh,
person that was up
absolutely.
there. But I
Yes.
mean, I really like Kate. So like that really upset me because I mean, he could have just said to you, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't want to talk about, like, go talk to Candy and you guys deal with it. But the way he just snapped like that was fucking ridiculous.
Well,
You
yeah,
know?
because it was totally taking not what I meant, because I was trying to go, no, 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 wait, and
Hopper
look,
was
but I was
looking
gone.
he was looking for anything that you
That-
could that you said that he could
Exactly.
twist.
Right.
He was
Exactly.
waiting
And
for
that's
you to
why I
say,
didn't go back, because I was trying to be respectful that, okay, that Candy kind of that, because,
Mhm.
well, and especially, come on, it took me out as being, I had to laugh about it. Somebody asked him, well, Hopper, who do you love more, Kate or Candy? Well, that's grade school. Come on now, stop.
stupid.
And
That
when
is
they
stupid.
said that, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to interfere anymore. You don't have to drop a house on me. And I never really went back either. Now,
Yeah,
I
I
did
didn't
go
either.
back that day that you were talking to him, to finally get some sense into the man, that yes, words can be misunderstood. That was my whole point. And that's why I went in on my alt and gave the man $5 to go, look, see, you can be a grown up and understand that words are misunderstood.
Yeah, that was me. That was on panel with him, remember? And
I
I was like,
know.
look, she came back and gave you money. That's something I'd never do. I would never come back and give somebody money that did that shit to me. I would dog walk the fuck out of you if you ever talked to me like
Well,
that.
that was kind of my way of dog walking him, actually.
Oh my God, no, I could. Oh, he was like, yeah, I know, right? Because it made him, it was like kind of
It
like
did. It made him feel like
embarrassing
shit,
that
and it
somebody gave him
should.
or that you
Right, and
gave
it
him money.
should. And
Yeah,
but
it should. I
after
mean,
that, I'm like, I don't want him to have to pick like that. And if that's what they think, I'm not gonna go back. And it's bummed, and it bummed me out. But I love going to your guys' streams. I have nothing but respect for you and Hatman. So I love coming to your lives, and I see a lot of everybody there. So
yeah,
I'm like,
you're huge.
okay,
You're a huge support. You're always in mine and in his streams too. Like
yeah, and I love it.
Glory
I
always pops
love
in and
doing
out
it.
too.
Yes, because you guys have been awesome ever since I've met you. Staying on Barb's neck, I love it. But
Oh yeah,
then
it's
again,
fun.
I come over and you guys are hilarious. We have so much fun. So
It was
yeah,
fun
you
last
won
night.
me over.
It's
Just
crazy.
yes, it's a blast, and I love it.
Rogue ministers going on vengeance missions for her. Get the hell out of here, you
Oh,
weirdo! I can't with
right,
her.
and we've met so many fun people too, like Tulisa in a Pod and Get
Oh
Swamped.
yeah,
So
Get Swamped, Robbie. They've been on my panel too. They're
yes.
great.
So
They're
it's
all
just
great.
been awesome. It has. But
Yeah.
and that's all I just ever wanted was just, if you
Yeah,
don't like me,
and
fine.
now I
I
came
get
up.
it.
I was like, you know what? I'm just going up here. Let's deal with it once and for all. And now it's cool. We can actually
No,
I
I
can come in
appreciate
here
it.
and
Really,
chat
really
and
glad that we did. I really am. I couldn't be more pleased, especially with the result of us actually sorting it and
yeah.
no hard feelings and whatnot.
And I
Um,
appreciate it. I really do appreciate it, Beth.
And I do honestly. I'm actually smiling because I actually really appreciate you
But there's
both.
a lot of
Because
overlap.
it also
I don't
shows
want
people
there to be
how you
weirdness,
had to move forward from things, right? It also
Yeah.
shows other people how to fucking do this shit, talk to each other, resolve things, move forward.
Yeah.
Don't fucking let resentments eat you up, and like sort the fucking shit out. Whatever the
And
bollocks
that's the
is,
thing.
there's something gone wrong.
That's
Sort
the
it
thing.
out.
Yeah, and I mean it's sorted now. Apologies are made. We move on. That's it. That's
Yeah.
how I am. I'm not going to bring it up again.
No, I'm like
I'm
that
not
too, so I appreciate that also because I'm very much like that. I'm able to like just compartmentalize and move the fuck on.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. I really do because we don't know each other. Like it's weird, it's good to
Right, so
have a
hopefully
fresh
we
start.
can start to get to know each other on that
Absolutely,
basis. I
yeah.
hope so.
I'll definitely be coming back.
Yay.
It's not today because it's Sunday and it's Hats and I are going to go on video, but like video chat. But next time you guys are on, I'll try and pop in if it's
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
Oh,
Hatman. I
definitely
appreciate that
do.
also that
Yeah.
you've got an understanding and a level of knowledge to know that happens and that occurs even. So
Oh, Kate Winslet, you're late.
oh yeah.
You're late.
I mean it's done and done and done.
Kate,
We're good. It's already we're
it.
done. It's good and I've already let it go.
Okay,
It's done.
we gotta like save that for like the worthy ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, this wasn't going to be like a fight. This was just me coming up to set the record straight.
Us
And
are all too fucking mature, intelligent, whatever you want to fucking call it, to conduct ourselves like that. We'll save it for those that are worthy.
yeah. All right, I'm going to jump down because I got
Yep.
my lunch is ready and stuff. And I'll let you guys have a rest of the good show here, and I'll catch the
Thank
replay
you.
as I always do.
Okay.
All
All
Take
right.
care, hon.
Okay.
See you soon.
Later. Thanks,
Bye.
Beth. Appreciate you.
Bye.
See you later, Hat Man. Have a good time.
My hat man, thank you. It's good to get things resolved, I think.
Yeah.
It is. I'm very glad.
Feel happy about that. Because it was a ongoing situation that if it obviously didn't need to occur in the fucking first place, it seems so fucking like wasted energy, wasted time, you know, all of that. And yeah, I wish it had been nipped in the bud a lot earlier. And that probably is my fault that I just thought, oh fuck
And
it.
I'm not kidding. I
thought
had
it was gonna go
no
into a big
idea any of this was happening. Oh, thank
No,
you.
I didn't either.
Emma.
Yeah, I did not either.
Like, please address Big Al owning you, Glory, and you, Kate, after all of these years in a recent stream. She claims Strawberry Douche actually validated her sleeve surgery.
When would that have been? What page
not.
of the farms is that on so I can go look, please?
Thanks,
What
Em.
page?
Thanks. I appreciate you also, Emma. And regardless of what you ever hear about me, whether it's bad, good, in between, one thing is to be said: I am a real bitch, and when I apologize or put my hands up to some shit, that's all it is, you know. And yeah, I'm glad that you accept it. So I appreciate you also, and Hatman.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes, because I mean there's some people I really enjoy, and you know, Death, you're definitely one of them. Definitely Olaf,
And I am
love
kind
for
of
the
mad
death.
at myself that I got duped by a different account and I didn't take receipts at the time and all of that because
sometimes we just react.
You know what I mean? Because like
you
I
know?
say, I wasn't trying to be a creator at that time. I was working behind the scenes, and when I got showed something, and yeah, of course, running with it is dangerous and whatnot. But I guess you live and you learn, right?
Right. And but you know, you did the thing that you know everybody admires. You said, "Yes, I own it. It happened." And you apologized, and it was heartfelt. It was sincere. And that's all anybody can ask. And you know, I've like I said, there's people I have utmost respect here, and most of them are here. So you know, definitely I've always enjoyed you and Little Boots, and definitely I've always
Frankie
enjoyed Hat Man
Well, it's
and
important to
Emma.
own your shit. If something's gone wrong or something's gone awry and like you do get corrected on it, it shouldn't be like dent your fucking ego and now you got to be like doubled down on your cuntiness about a situation. No, absolve the fact and fucking address it and look at your fucking self and go, did I fuck up? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, that's why I kind of stay back a lot with especially when shit's going down because I don't know. And I need to see proof, you know, for the most part, unless I've seen it or witnessed it. So, yeah.
And well, you know, and it's funny too because I caught some screenshots of you know the live that had my name in it. Thank you very much. And which like try harder, I don't care. Um, but I am going to go check it out if I can. And she usually deletes. I don't know if this one's still up or not. I'd have to go back and look. But she claims she showed this one picture of it's her just in the surgical mask and her glasses and saying this is her going back for her surgery day. Which one was that, hon? You used that one twice.
She
And
sure
yes, I
did.
can prove it. That was supposedly your sleeve surgery. That was in June, but you also had a carpal tunnel. And supposedly, because again, you just came out, you know, with your arm bandaged up and you were in an exam room, you know, with a mask on. And that was the exact same picture that you used for both things, your carpal tunnel procedure, my little air quotes, and your gastric sleeve, again, in big time air quotes, because we know that never happened. So which time was that are you claiming, sweetie? Which time? Because I have them both. Because when you showed that one again, I'm like, wait a minute, didn't we just see this flashback? And that is one thing for an old bitch. I have a really good memory. So I was like, wait a minute. And I went back and I asked the girls on Discord, guys, am I hallucinating this or what? They're like, no, she used that twice because the video was only up for your carpal tunnel for like 15 seconds. I know who had it. So I went and looked at it a couple more times. I'm like, yeah, no. No.
Can I just say that I feel like I'm immediately dubious of like the 101 of entering the pasture of anyone that feels the need to come to the internet to, whether it be share about their mental health or the fucking medical fucking ongoings. Right?
Jesus, yeah.
We all have real life. We all have family members, whether it's us dealing with something or one of our surrounding family members. But the fact that people proceed to fucking talk about this shit and bring it all online. Yeah, well, that's already, I'm like, I can hear you moving. Why are you doing that? Why are you talking about your fucking personal shit and bringing it all to the forefront for your whys, like, oh, my medical things. Oh, I got this hanging off of me. Well done. We've all got something fucking wrong with us. Just most of us don't talk about it. That's all.
And that's just it. And once she puts it out there, and it's all out there, and we're all standing there scratching our heads going, did we just hear all this crazy shit? Then 2 seconds later, she goes, we're lying. We're the totalest liars of the lying internet. That she never said such a thing.
The oldest stories that's told, Kate, is it not? You think about the amount of people that have done that, whether it's talking about their mental fucking health, whether it's talking about their medical shit, immediately, as soon as they do that, they're wandering into the fucking pasture, I feel.
Good. Well, you know, she wandered into the pasture, ate it all, and has gone on to the next pasture and is on its way to eating that. And if I knew how, if honestly, if I, everybody said don't talk about or ignore, tried that, doesn't work. Then if you respond, we're crazy and liars and what have you, and then nobody has said anything, because quite honestly, I would much rather hang out with Emma, Hatman, you, Little Boots, all these people. I would much rather hang out with Olap. I'm front and center. If she does a premiere, you can bet that I'm there if I'm available. I would much rather hang with the normal folk. I'm sorry, okay?
Yeah,
I just can't.
At the right time or something, because it's like I'm so much ahead of time. I'm like, I get in there sometimes if I'm either up really late or up really early. You know what I mean? It's like hit or miss.
She won't go away. I just don't know how to get her to go away. Yeah. I mean, if anybody could tell me, if I could pay her, but I'm telling you, she's like, I've done this. It's like the little brother that, that's fucking pastor. And it's like, God, here's $20.
Yeah.
We'd still pay him $20 and he'd take your $20 and still pester you, the little bastard. So, it's just like that. That's what I compare it to all the time, the little brother. But now I just laugh. And we talk about her like today, just because it's like, whatever. She's part of this is just like, I guess, the low-cal recap of the week, I guess, and so she fits in there somewhere. But other than that, though, all of a sudden, like the stuff that with my name in it, nobody's even been talking about her. We've been following Barb. I'd much rather put my energy to her, because she is a legit scammer and has no business being online. She really doesn't. And, but I am going to, laugh when she does some of this shit, because again, it's sad, because this is not our first rodeo of hearing this shit come out of somebody's mouth. So Barb does this shit and we're all just back behind the scenes going, whatever, we've heard this before. So it is, but it's just so outrageously ridiculous that now we really all do just point and laugh, because there's nothing else you can do. It's damned if you do and damned if you don't. So, like I said, honey, you're in the low-cal report of the week. Deal with it.
Sign
Whatever.
me up, trolling Annie. Let me know. I'll be there with bells on.
Me too.
Sorry, and Kate don't use tarot, substandard shit like that. They're all about the runes.
That's right. I'm a bone caster, man. Who needs no stinking cards?
Okay, watch. You ready? Olap, here it comes. All you have to say is, I'm very sorry, Alana. I bullied you because I was jealous and know you had the sleeve surgery. Amen.
13.
25. So now we'll see how far that goes. Now she'll clip that and play it now for months and months and months and months. But just like, now, because we were so excited when she's like, oh, she wants to go be the bodega. I'm like, okay, bye. Thank you. Have a
You
good
need
day.
I
Yeah.
dare you to say it. I dare you to say those words that Zolop's typed out, but you've got to do it in an Alana voice.
Oh my God. Are you that talented?
No. I read it, but I read it how she wrote it. But that's all I can do. I mean, I can't even behind the scenes, to hear her go bariatric. Huh? I'm like, what the hell is a bariatric? I mean, huh? So, and then I'm serious. This is the God's honest truth. One time we were in the car, my husband was with me, and he's nosy. He gets, he knows about the internet drama. Come on, because he hears me bitch about it enough. So we were literally in the car, and I said, "Kate, can I turn my phone on?" And half the time it doesn't work anyways because I have sucky data. So, but we got tuned in and we were listening, and it was a fight between Negs and Alana. Okay. And this was priceless. But she kept going, Dominican Republican. And I am like, huh? Dominican
I remember
Republican.
that, Kate.
Yeah.
Really?
And Dominican Republican was not. And I'm like, what are you trying to use that as? And all I know is my husband's laughing so hard. I swear to God, I'm like, we're going to fucking wreck this car. And now it is seriously still a standing joke in this house that if things get a little bit tense and stuff, whatever, he'll just go, Dominican Republican. You're just a Dominican Republican. And so it's like, oh my God, it's just so outrageous. But it was so funny. I can't even talk like her on purpose. Gabby Pentons. We were actually gonna start a book of Elisms. Alana
We had it. We got bingo cards. We were going to do a dictionary.
We do have bingo cards, and they have been out. I think if you scroll back, like I said, past my community post on my food and everything else, and my sarcastic, smart-ass remarks, that's probably there. Because one year we had them behind the scenes. How embarrassing! But we were sitting there playing bingo behind the scenes, listening to her. It was hilarious.
One of your bingo cards.
They're on my tab.
Yeah,
too.
I was. It's like, oh, good.
We may need to do that one night over at Deadly Content. Let's play Alana Bingo.
We had to make new cards. We ran out of shit. People were bingoing all the time. It's not fair. I'm like, all right, we need new cards.
Yeah,
we need new cards.
We're kind of half-ass wanting to start a bar bingo card because
definitely, yes,
people and card and all that.
Yes,
evening of it, girls. So we could do a whole like smorgasbord of like cows that we do like bingo rounds on.
Oh yes, yeah. I mean,
show me out.
And well, that's my most famous saying. It's like, get out there and like spin the wacko wheel. Who did we land on? Like,
that'll be our game night.
Look at how
she has switched her stance on Alana so many times, though. Oh, DC.
Oh, well, she's tried to white knight for everybody over the years I've known her. I mean, she's come in and she's tried to do it for oh my gosh, the list is long. And she just all of a sudden started talking about Gigi, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I knew, Kathy, I knew you were from that sector, and I'm like, why is she still bringing him up? And you're like, I don't know. The man doesn't talk to her, nothing.
No,
and
Gigi
so I'm thinking she's just doing it to start the shit
at the moment.
And so that's how I knew that she had gotten to be the she whose name shall not be named. The abbreviations. That's how they,
Yeah, and that's exactly how that came about. Yeah,
right. And so it's like Candyman. You say her name 3 times, and there she is. Like, whoa, yikes!
Yeah, she did actually. When Alana was making her way over there, I just remember laughing. Like, DC will make good use of her.
I know. Yes. But it still didn't work. She was over there for like a month and then's back at talking about us again. I'm like,
she got booted. Oh my goodness.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, how is your pit bull was neutered? I mean, everybody maybe have been scared of her before, but now it's just like point and laugh. Sorry, point and laugh. It's like Barb, and she's they're on the same caliber wavelength, and Hopper, you're up there too, unless you change. So
Me
again,
too,
it's
Kate. Me too.
nobody's
That's
been
my
talking
favorite
about
era as
anybody.
well, because that's when she started looking like a mob wives reject.
Yes, yes. Oh my God. Girl, I think your bones are brittle and shit. That's what happened to you.
Oh my God. Yeah, her piercings and her insistence on showing everybody her tongue.
Yeah,
Ugh.
and I love that. This is the reason I talk funny. No, it's not. You've been talking like that ever since I've known you. Gabby Pentons and
Mhm.
defecation of character was my favorite there
Oh
for a
yes, the
while.
definition of character.
Like, stop.
I
Oh
gotta
no.
dig up those bingo cards again.
Oh,
I
I've
think
got
so.
them.
I think we're gonna have to make this happen, ladies.
Yeah.
Oh yes, definitely.
We need more fun injected into this fucking cesspool, I feel.
Exactly. We need some LOLs and not so much the the fighting.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yes, definitely. Yeah, because I mean it's true. There's people that that I like in other people's communities. They may not like me, but if you don't, then just scroll on. Don't say hi.
Go
Don't do
for a
anything to me.
negative
Block
energy
me.
for it, you know?
Yeah.
Just block me and be done with it.
No, I'd much rather especially and it's very rare that what occurred today happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm so glad. This is how grown-ups act. It's not a scream fest. You're not throwing words at each other.
Right,
Just
just be
talk
normal and
it out.
civilized humans, have
Yeah.
conversations, have
Yeah.
discussions. You know what I
Well,
mean?
exactly.
Healthy
That's
discourse.
exactly
Yeah.
what adults do, and I think that was stellar. So that's
Mhm.
how it's done.
Yep, for sure.
No, I appreciate you girls giving me the space to do it and
Mm,
sort it
You
out.
betcha. You betcha.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, I had fun at your panel the other night, and
Yeah, it
that's why
was a
I
hoot.
popped back in um, and gave you a little bit of a happy anniversary because I didn't mean to have to dip out so quick, and I forgot to say happy anniversary before I left. So,
Well, do you know what? I felt like originally I was like, oh shit, I don't want to derail your entire stream with this, but it was hanging in my throat, you know what I mean? And every time you brought them up, and I was like, oh, do I discuss
Oh,
it? Do I not? You know what I mean? But I am
listen.
glad that I
Yeah.
did. And then thinking of the title of your stream now, I'm like, actually, I didn't derail it when you think about the title, because it's actually very befitting. No, it's like when this is not an apology tour, but when do apologies work? Well, maybe when you actually have a decent conversation and
And you
resolve
mean it.
grown-ups,
Yeah.
maybe.
exactly. Because again, that's why everybody here had my utmost respect. They always have, because this is how you handle it. I mean, geez. There doesn't have to be yelling and screaming and this and that and accusing and this is how it's done, and like I said, utmost respect for everyone involved.
Yep. Yes, ma'am. Playground politics. You either punch each other out or you hug it out. So,
Hey Ponder, how's it going?
hey, Ponder.
Hey Krista.
Girl gang. I like the girl part. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. So,
Well, there was accomplishments, that was nice, and we got to have the recap of the week, and it was all good.
Yes, we had the foray.
I'm sorry, Luna. I did disappoint her, but I'm still breathing.
Exactly, Luna. I just saw you. Good to see you, hon.
Always predicting somebody in Canada is going to die. Well,
I
I'm sure they are. What is the statistical?
I know how many people a day. It's like, okay, yeah.
That's a reach, Alana. That's a real reach.
She must be truly gifted. I don't know how she does it.
Me neither.
I don't either.
Oh, by the way, you're not reading the cards. You're reading the booklet that came with the cards.
Uh-huh.
You
And
know,
yeah,
and so she's
that's
got
meant to
no
help you as a beginner or whatnot to get the feel of the card or whatnot
Uh-huh.
and the understanding of the card. But you're meant to actually digest that information and not just like read from it. Like,
Right. And and she was supposed to be on a sabbatical not long ago
Mhm.
doing a mission from God, probably knowing her. And when she forgets that other people go elsewhere, where she clearly told somebody else at their live that she had gotten a naughty for a week. So, yeah, come on. So much for that. Girl, stop. Nobody cares. Or it was like, we were all like, oh, this is so nice. It's nice. It's
Trolling Annie, you're
quiet.
welcome anytime. You just let us know if you got something to say.
Oh, absolutely, Annie. Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to see you. Like I said, I wished a lot of this had could have happened elsewhere a different way too. So,
oh
Yeah.
my God, Kate, you remember I promised you purple glitter content and then shit happened with me in Little Boots in real life and we just didn't get around to streaming for 2 or 3 weeks and it all went to the wayside. Well, I still have all that shit saved. And one day, maybe I'll fire it up. Maybe I'll do it on my deaf channel, like a little, late hangout stream
ooh,
and like I
oh,
put the purple glitter, like the last shit that she wiped from her channel, and it was brilliant.
Purple glitters
oh.
purple glitters from Monty's side, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I
I just
got
had
that
to get my
Monty's been
glitters
talking
right.
about the situation that led up to it and all that was going on. She
Right.
was going crazy on a community tab and then that last stream and all the bodega were in that side chat also.
For sure.
That's funny.
One day, Kate,
Oh,
one day I'll pop up on a late night little stream and it'll be a purple glitter stream just for Kate.
let me know so I can take a nap.
No gummies.
I know that's my biggest cuss in my back door, just a cussing my ass off. Because if I'm gonna sleep, good ladies, hey, degenerative disc disease sucks. So if I'm gonna sleep, I'm taking my gummy, and all the shit wants to pop off, and I've already damn took my gummy. I'm like, shit, I already took my gummy, and my
There's
husband will just walk by and go, oh, for
dude,
fuck's sake, there she is with
dude.
her phone sleeping. Oh, it's embarrassing.
Kate.
I guess Lana's raging on the other channel. Aw.
Oh, does she need a
Aw.
butt hurt report?
Hmm.
I'll send her a butt hurt report. She can fill it out in triplicate, and I hope she knows what to do with it.
You don't need to send a report. She can see it in the cards.
Hmm.
True. She
Figured
should
out.
have foreseen this day.
You don't have to do anything or say anything now, it's all been foretold.
Yeah, her. If it's a good rage, is it a good rage, Kate Winslet? Because people should go over and give her a listen. When she rages, she's perfect.
True. That's popcorn stuff,
It
definitely.
is. It is. Oh my.
Even better if somebody's recording it. Hopefully somebody's recording it if
Okay,
it's
yeah,
that
she'll
good.
delete it. She'll delete it.
Oh, of course she will. Yeah. And then claim she has no idea. What the fuck are you people talking about? I never said that.
Yeah.
At first, I'm thinking, what? I'm that old that I'm not remembering properly. But no, I just figured out that's how she works.
Oh, Olap, we pretty much told her she's lying about her hand injury, as per usual.
Oh, right. Yeah. And I doubt she's probably injured of some sort. I'm
Probably
just
punched the
surprised
wall out.
because, well, and I think I probably lost the poll because I think we were going for, since Houston had such bad weather and stuff, that we were going to get some sort of story she injured herself rescuing people from rubble.
Mm-hmm.
She's, yes, I've got you, don't worry. And so I was expecting that kind of story, but nope, instead it was a dog bit her and broke her hand. Huh?
Oh, is she focusing on my ass again?
Huh?
The girl's got
Sit on it.
my prolapsed anus. Is often a frequent subject in her rages.
It
So I
is.
apologize in advance.
I know. It's just like, okay, whatever. But again, girl, you may have gotten bit by a dog. You said your original story was you got bit by a dog while your other dog was intervening to help you, and your dog saved you, but the other dog bit your hand. And if that was true, hun, you wouldn't be worrying about a tetanus shot. The hospital would be worried about rabies shots because you said the dog got away.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't switch it up now. Don't be. That's like pulling a barb. Or I think you guys learn from each other. So stop. That's what you said. My whole point of that is you may have broke something. Your bones are weak and brittle because you don't take care of yourself properly. You don't get the vitamins you need. You look like a Skeletor whenever you are on, when you're not photoshopping and fluffing up with a filter. So stop. You would be needing rabies shots, ma'am. That's what I called you out on. That's not a cast. That's a soft arm wrap.
It's true, because they treat you for rabies regardless of whether, because it takes too long to run the test to see if you actually do and have contracted it. So as a
And they
precautionary
hurt.
thing, if you've been bitten by something that's running free, whatever the animal is, they will
Right.
give you a rabies shot, and it's painful.
Exactly. Because rabies some serious shit. Now, I mean, I don't think, and I think there's only been a 1% chance of surviving rabies if you've been bitten and not treated. So you never know. And Houston is one of the worst places for loose animals and that kind of stuff. It's real bad there. So you never know. And if they're anything like their owners, they don't get vetted or done anything. So no.
When did this occur, Kate?
No.
I don't know. She came on the other day just out of the blue. Oh, look what happened to me. It's like, okay, whatever.
Mine too.
I was going to say, because it doesn't
going in for rabies shots.
What accounts for the foam in the mouth before then?
Or a long and series of shots. Very painful shots.
Yeah.
So,
and they have, I believe they've made some progress with that, and you don't have to get as many series of them now, but I do still believe you get them in your stomach, and it is not a happy event. No. And they would, like I said, if the dog, there would be a report that she was bitten. Because if you go to the hospital and claim a dog bite, there has to be, it's required by law.
Rio, hey darling.
Oh, hey Rio, nice to see you, hon.
I thought she was shilling her Cash App for her birthday. So
yeah, no, I'm sorry. Anybody else wants to wish her well, that's fine with me, but I do not. So sorry. I don't mean to offend anybody, but no, I don't wish her well. I hope I don't wish her harm. Absolutely not. But as many times as she's wished death on me, no, I don't wish her well. So she can sit on it and spin for all I care. So, but I'm just calling her out, ma'am. You would need a rabies shot if that dog is gone.
Rio has a very good heart.
She'll probably now say, since she heard me say that, she'll now say, "Oh, well, we mysteriously they found the dog just like they found her stolen SUV, somewhere." So no, there'll be some miraculous thing show up that she didn't need, that the owner showed up and showed us proof that it was, vaccinated and it's all good. So, I can hear the violins now and all that good stuff. So no, that's what I called around on. She could have very well broke her hand. Who cares?
Oh,
I don't care.
I'm sure she
probably punched out Carlos.
A lot of people asked about her birthday. Yeah, I'm sure. Absolutely. Yeah, non-stop people were asking her.
Mm-hmm. Well, good luck to her.
Oh, thank you, Luna, for saying her age. Another thing, Alana, you might want to consider when showing paperwork and your hospital band, it listed the wrong age. So we notice things like that. So stop it. And there was no date. And hospital bands have dates of when you're in, and more information. So
Right.
I don't know what she.
And
Oh,
it could be totally legit. She could be just, yes, I'm telling the truth about everything, and I am not going to believe you, ma'am. I'm sorry. You've
Rio,
told
you have
so
a
many
good heart.
lies.
Rio, you have a good heart. You honestly do. But we've had enough interactions with her to know that she is.
Yeah, Rio's
Yeah,
a nice person.
not everybody's experience is the same, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that you have a good heart, but
Oh, well, we tried to have a good heart several times.
Yeah, sometimes that will bite you in the ass.
Oh, it did, Death. It did. It honestly
I've
did.
had it
Because
happen to me.
we tried to
Everyone
be very
knows,
cool with her and help. Even and like I said, I've always stood up for Candy on certain stuff. Even Candy, after she took Candy's channels, Candy tried to help her and be nice to her.
Stop
after
it, Kate.
everything she
My
did.
first instinct too. I was like, Rio, are you trying? Thanks. Actually, when I first heard it, I was like, someone check that account.
No, I've known Rio for a long time, so
No, I'm joking.
And she is, yeah, she's
I know,
a
Rio's
nice
I love
person.
her dearly, and she has
from
got
the old Peanut days. So we've been through it together.
Yeah, ditto. Yeah. Yeah, I've known her for a long time as well, Rio. She is absolutely a diamond.
Yep. So
She's living
it's
till
all
she's
good.
103. Okay. I've already told her I'd outlive her.
Yeah. And you never know. I mean, God, tomorrow is not promised for anybody. And, you could be that one, person that gets hit by a bus. I mean, somebody walking down the street and a car jumps the curb and hits you. You just never know, man. You never know what's going to happen. Never know. But I'm gonna, like I said, and I mean this wholeheartedly. I am the nicest person you ever want to meet until
I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
And I really try to be fair and and a lot of people don't like me because I tell you what I think and I'm a straight shooter. So that gets me in trouble a lot. Even in my real life it does.
I understand completely. I get that an awful lot because I will stab someone from the front, not the back, most of the time. It doesn't buy you popularity in that sense, but fortunately I don't give a shit and I'm not here for that, but
right.
It is a case of, it's a double-edged sword when you're out there, and you're like, well, somebody's got to fucking call this shit out. I guess it's gonna be me,
True enough.
Yep.
No, Rio, never. So no worries.
Oh no. When we first met her, she was going back and forth about somebody with that name, but it wasn't negative for very long. And then, it was something about $20 and this other shit. And then, but that was done. But no, I've never seen her, say anything bad like that. No.
And listen, everybody needs a cheerleader. I get that. Even Alana. I just hope she's not, filling your ears with a bunch of shit. That's all.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Because I don't wish her any harm. Of course not. But, I'm just tired of her lies. And, if she wants to go make up stuff, whatever. But don't drag me into your bullshit. Just because I've repeated something you said, don't act like I'm crazy and you didn't say it when, yes, you did say it.
Yeah.
That's my whole beef. And then just leave me alone. Leave my name out of your mouth. And if you do that, things will be fine.
And you've
I
got to
won't have
remember,
to have another thing to say.
and she deletes a whole bunch of stuff that you probably never saw.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's
Yeah.
the truth. Because as soon as like I come chilling with you girls and whatnot, and then me and Glory then jumped up on that Dark Ninja panel together, and we was talking about some stuff about Alana and what had gone on, because I think Dark Ninja was having some interaction with her, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, then she had an awful lot to say about me, calling me 9,000 years old and this
Yeah.
and that, and
Mm-hmm.
then she made a video of me, and I didn't even get a chance to watch it. By the time I went to go look at the thing, it was deleted, and I was like, "Oh
Right.
well, never mind."
Right. Exactly.
I don't
Exactly.
really care what she's got to say about me. You know, I'm not. It's hardcore roasting for me. I can take it to a certain level, you know, but and I'm not going to cross certain lines that others might. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And even if they're going to cross those lines, it doesn't mean that I'm going to counteract that.
Yeah, exactly. And you keep it on the level there, and you give her support, and she probably needs that. Whether she really appreciates it or not, I don't know. But
Right. 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 Well, and look at when, we added her to that one Discord. Average Girl took time and her own time, hours. She talked to her for
3
hours,
hours. Yeah.
trying to get her to, like, to just, relax and calm down. And she learned a few things about her that she was surprised to hear. And so we all tried to give her that space to be appreciated and to have a voice. And all she did was she wanted it for information. One of the first things she came in there was she was wanting somebody's social security number, their kid's social security number, where they lived. And we're like, yeah, no, we don't do that. We don't dox people like that. Because that's what she wanted. She wants to hurt you. She wants to hurt you.
Right. Use things against you. I mean, a lot of these people do. You give them 1 inch, and they'll run with it forever and a day. And then, like, yeah, it's all about payback, right?
Yeah. And it's for what? Why do you want to hurt me? Because I told you my truth. I'm sorry if you didn't like it. And if you don't like it, then fine. Leave my name out of my, block me and move on, and don't talk about me anymore.
Yeah. If I don't like what somebody has said or done, then it's a simple. I don't need to see this. And my block list isn't very, very much. It's mostly trolls.
Right.
I
Right.
think I've got 2 legitimate channels. Just because for some reason they're always on my recommended. So I just blocked them because I don't want to see them on my recommended.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And and we all like the fun drama. The drama, some of the drama can be really fun, it can be funny, but once it starts crossing the lines,
Yes. And it goes into the realms of being toxic. Yep.
yeah, it really, really does. And then, it's not fun anymore. But when I log off at night, though, this is the last thing I'm thinking of.
Right.
I mean,
And that would be the case for most normal folk, right? You come on here for a little bit of shits and giggles kind of thing, do some shit talking, a bit of heavy roasting, maybe it's at best, but you don't try to cross certain lines because, who wants to breed that sort of toxicity? And even if you are surrounded by it and others are doing it, that's why I don't tend to engage in a lot of stuff, I don't. I just
right.
let it all
Right.
go over me.
Because I go on to a lot of channels and I just listen. I don't need to engage, and especially if there are people there, like Alana's been modded on several. I'm not even going near that, but I'm watching.
Right. Right.
And it's not because of her per se. It's because I like the subject that's being talked about, or the shit show that's happening in the chat.
Yeah.
Which is often more entertaining than the subject at hand. So
Yeah, it can be sometimes,
Yeah.
depending on the place and how
True.
haphazard things are.
True. Oh no.
Bye,
But yeah,
Rhiannon. And
I
I do
agree,
kind of
Annie.
agree with Rio's sentiment, because you do have to approach every situation with people, regardless of what other people and outside and their experience of a person. You should base it on your engagement with that person and how they're treating you to some degree, right? And
Oh,
I don't
absolutely.
believe everybody that is always all bad or all good, and if you're getting the better side of them, then I'm pleased for you. That's good. Yeah, it's a shame that others don't get more of that side of her, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with Ponder Pains here. He needs to get up here. I'll give him I'll mute myself and let him have his, if he wants to, and not revitalize his channel. That's fine. Probably not, because he doesn't know me. So yeah, whatever.
Oh, did you catch Nex's last Rumble stream? He also did a whole little disclaimer, I'm no longer doing the N word with the hard R, and he was like, and anyone that comes up on my panel, because he's been hanging out with all these Discord degenerates, right? The now known as Neo Plate Gang. The original Plate Gang contained Zoom and Rocket and Roxo and Sweden, all them lot, and then they split when the whole tragic situation come around, because Swede never liked tragic, so that's where the split happened. And now you got DC and Negs now affiliating with these lot that are all like these idiots from the sector, and it's based to say F God, it's based to say the N word, all of this. And I guess it's not going so well for Negs if he's trying to do this grand sweep up tour, the vindication tour, right? We're calling it.
Right. That sounds about right.
Sweep it all under the rug. It's no good when you got like these morons, BUS and Butthead, going on your panel and saying N word and F God constantly. But then you had Nick joining in on it as well, because he thought it was cool and edgy. DC yucking it up with them all because she thinks it's great.
Krista said it.
I know. I just read that. Mary on a bike and Jesus on the handlebars. Oh goodness, no.
Yeah. Well, they all gonna find out, and you can only warn them so many times,
Oh,
So-
I'm done with that. I'm done with that.
Sorry.
No. Nope. Nope. They're just gonna have to find out. I'm sorry.
If anything comes up with Olop and she says anything about the judgment, and I just go cross Olop, and she's like, "Damn it, Deb, you'll never let me forget."
Now, what happened? Oh, this sounds good. Oh no.
We should all have our own personal reminders, right? When we fuck up, it serves us well to remember it, because therefore we don't fuck up so frequently or again so readily, because no, these lessons are served to us. I guess she was yours.
Oh yes. I mean, the thing was that it was so stupid. Is we gave her so many chances, and the other communities are like, oh, you guys are so stupid, she's just gonna stab you in the back, and we're like, you were trying though. I mean, we tried it with other people. It's like taking in the little misfits and bottle feeding them and changing them and going, okay, are you better now? And we think they are, and then they're released back into the wild and act like assholes again. It's like, damn it, we failed. So but we did it several times.
Next community, because of this whole gonna sweep it all up, gonna be a better person, not gonna do all this stuff. So I've been here before. I've heard Nick's just fucking spiel of sweeping it all under the rug and gonna do better and move forward, right? No, and then he fucking returns to form every time, and that's when I bowed and imploded everything. And everyone needs to get bitten at least once massively to fucking learn. Oh yeah.
Well, that's true. That is true. Like when we were kids, don't touch the stove. It's hot. Mm-hmm. And you finally touch it and go, fuck yeah, it is. And if you do it again, well, stupid. I mean, you learn. And we did. It took more than a couple times, but we did finally learn. And we stepped away and just went, yeah, okay. And everybody tried to just pick up their toys and wander away. And it just won't
She just won't
happen.
let it go. Yeah.
Nope. So I guess that's all we can do is, if she's in the report of the week, she's in the report of the week, I guess.
Oh my God. Yeah, you know what, Olap, Queen of Karma or Queen of Spades as I knew her as, yeah, she can actually act normal for a little bit until she
can all
doesn't,
do that.
and then you're in for novels of text and
I just think that is a pattern of behavior. I think that they can all do that, and they can all
I
mask
agree.
for like a few months or something
yeah.
and maintain a certain level, and then all of a sudden the crazy switch flips and it's like, whoa, okay.
Yes,
And then you learn,
I
and you're like,
100%
yeah,
agree.
that's what it took with me, like with being at the helm of things and eggs, and him being my one big fucking situation that I regret getting involved in and whatnot. Yeah, that was the case for me. It was like he maintained for quite a few months. It was probably the best he'd ever been online. Those
Mhm.
first few months on Twitch, he was a fucking angel, and then all of a sudden, boom,
Boom. Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I really do.
It's just strange. It's just strange. But anyway, ladies, we're just at 3 hours
Oh
now.
my.
It
That was
I
a really
know.
long
a
report of
lot
the
of stuff
week.
talked about and a lot of stuff resolved, and I'm glad I came up. Thank you so much for inviting me up,
Oh,
Glory and Kate.
Oh, you bet.
um, Stiff Richard, I'm sorry. I'm really bad about reading the chat sometimes, but nobody's trying to ignore you, hon. It's just I think this went over a little bit longer than what we thought, and there is a next time. So I'm sure
Yes,
we would be happy to have you come up and do a next time if you're down for that. But no, nobody wants to not value your opinion, hon, not at all. So I
It's
hope
partly my
Listen,
fault,
if
Richard.
if you
Hi,
guys
Richard.
want to
It's
come up,
partly my fault because I feel like I ate up a chunk of the thing.
no, 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 no,
no. But you
no,
guys,
not
I
at
can
all.
schedule another live like tomorrow if you want to address it there. I'm sorry, I thought you were just talking to somebody else about my comprehension skills.
And well, and
Sometimes,
honestly, I wasn't really reading. And then I saw
yeah,
what he was saying as we were getting ready to say goodbye. I just don't want him to think we didn't value his opinion because that is absolutely not true. Not true at
absolutely.
all.
No.
True,
You
actually.
guys
And when you
totally
are
have a
talking
voice.
and you're concentrating on panel, sometimes it is hard to pick out comments, and sometimes is it an interaction or a back and forth with somebody else, or is it meant for the actual, host? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm terrible. Sometimes I get to, paying attention and focusing on what we're saying to each other. And I forget to look at the chat. I'm awful.
Me
So
too.
I
I think
admit it. I'm sorry.
guilty of it sometimes. In all honesty, I do that too.
But so, yeah,
I'm
Steph Richards,
absolutely
hopefully you understand.
down for you to come on up and talk about it for sure. But just know that I don't know all the details, but I'm willing to let you talk if that's okay.
And and absolutely, because I have never blamed you for any part of that, Steph Richard, at all. I didn't even know really of your involvement in that. I just knew it was between Tifa got on Elaine's panel, and they went back and forth in the chat for a little bit. Kettle was there. Some things that were said, and then all I know is Tifa got up on panel and said something. Excuse me, did use some racist remarks, which was not okay. And then Kettle got on and said something about someone else. And that, again, as far as I was concerned, that was his opinion. But as far as I know, I didn't think you had any part of what happened, because that's what I'm referring to is what happened at Elaine's. And so if we're not on the same page, I totally apologize. Again, I thought that's what we were talking about, but I didn't. And if your name was brought up here today, it was that I have no problem with you. Is if it was brought
I'm
up.
sorry that you got that impression because that's not what we intended to put out.
No, never, not at all. Yeah,
So
not at all.
if you're down to maybe tomorrow, maybe if you want, we can do this.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, hold up. Sorry to to backtrack, but Olaf, I agree with your comment about Valkyrie also, and that side of the fence, they go too hard. Like they tried to pull me into that. I had that professor guy on Twitter constantly adding me on all these like cause fucking posts that I never asked to be part of, and then he was like, "Oh, come join Valkyrie's Discord," and I was like, "No, I'm good, thanks. I'm not about to join the all aboard the Quaz hate train sort of thing. I'm good."
Right. I totally agree with that. It's like, oh. And,
What's a good time for you? Because I've actually got Monday off tomorrow. So, Stiff Richard, name a time.
What time zone are you in, hon?
Do, 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 do.
Boop, 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 boop,
Doom,
boop.
doom. To myself and raising, just don't want to be linked to what Tifa did. That's all. That's fine.
Absolutely. Yep,
Oh.
absolutely.
really?
And I never took it
Afternoon is
that
good.
way, ever. I never took it that way, ever. And if Elaine did, I'm sorry that they did that, because again, at first I thought it was a joke. I thought you guys were joking around and just whatever, and you guys were bantering back and forth a little bit in the chat. And then if he got up and said that was totally on his own thing, and again, I just knew alcohol was involved. And Kettle, you had said something about somebody else, which I happen to agree with, but that's your opinion and mine, and we're entitled to it. Other than that, I have absolutely no problem with Phoenix or Kettle or Richard. I don't even have a problem with Tifa. I just think that he needs to apologize and actually be sincere, which I would think he is, because from what I had remembered of Tifa, that he was a pretty good stand-up guy. So I was really surprised that he didn't own up all this and
calling some shit out it's not a bad thing, or it shouldn't be deemed so much as like some sort of villainization or something of that ilk, like to that gratitude of it's not. And if you are friendly with someone, it would be a disservice to them if you don't tell them when they're going wrong. I always think if I consider someone a friend, even if it's an online friend, it's a case of, well, and then I hold you to a higher standard than most because I've become friendly with you, so therefore it would be a disservice to me and our friendship if I didn't say something, if I saw someone going off track, so I don't think criticism and calling someone out or saying, hey, I think you went wrong here, you need to apologize, should be like an all-out war between people.
Exactly. Because it's just the right thing to do, for one thing, because if you don't know you offended till later, which that clearly obviously is an offense to be racist, but they should have just immediately gone, damn, I shouldn't have done that. And the big thing was to apologize and get it over with and go, yeah, that was stupid. What was I thinking? Whatever your reasoning is, apologize and own it and pick up and move on. And
Right.
It shouldn't have had to turn into what it did, because it fractured another community, pretty badly with what happened. So, and I feel bad for that. So again, I don't have a problem with anybody over on that side. I just think that, he should have apologized with it and owned it. And Stiff Richard said he is Central Time.
Yeah. So I'm Mountain Time. So for reference, it's 3:22 p.m. here.
Right.
Oh my God, you're so lucky. And it's like 10:30 almost.
Oh goodness. You need to go have some snacks and some
I do actually, because I didn't. I meant to do that yesterday, and I ended up having like a little salad because I was like, I was going to have a later meal, and then I didn't get around it, and then I've done the same again today. Damn it,
Yeah, so
nourishment other than just coffee and wheat.
Okay, so
There
you're
you
an
go.
hour ahead of me.
That.
Okay, that makes it. Hang on, kids. So you're an hour ahead of me. So how about 2 p.m. your time, which would make it 1 p.m. mine? Is that good?
I'm just here for the ride.
I'm just giving the platform. So yeah.
Yeah, because 1 your time would be 4 my time.
Yeah. No, it's, yeah.
Yeah, because you're 2 hours before me.
Yes. Okay, he says perfect, then I'll set it up, okay?
Okay.
All right. And having said that, you guys, I have to pee like a racehorse, and
See, we're
lady
all
bladder is so I will see everybody to
Thank you
reconvene
so
tomorrow
much.
at
Fun stream,
the
and thank
agreed
you for giving
time.
me the space to like resolve some stuff that didn't need to be stuff in the first place. I'm glad that we did that.
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely.
And he said this
That's
doesn't have
right,
anything to
though.
do with
Damn
pizza,
it,
so that's
I'm
fine.
here for a good
Okay.
time, not a long time.
Take care, Deb. Always good to see you, sweetie.
Love you guys.
Okay,
Bye,
kiddo.
everyone.
Thank you
Bye,
so much.
everybody.
And guys, thank you for the super chats.
Yes.
Longer stats and Our Lady of Perpetual Poutine. Thank you so
Yay.
much. And I
Yep.
will see everybody tomorrow.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.